Carson is all yours.
Thank you, Mitch, for 9 seasons with your Toronto Maple Leafs.
Nylander all injured, but Leafs are not alone, right?
Oh, yeah. Stupid! You're so stupid!
Nothing later. First,
it's my job to make guys accountable.
Well, I think every coach, has a certain philosophy on certain things, and
but back checking doesn't require talent, it requires will.
That's music to my ears,
I hate you!
I hate you more!
Power play continues early. Tyler, they score! Celebrating in the Misa in front. They score! Palat! Rayenda! Celebrating and Smith. It's Will Smith for Macklin. He scores! Smith to Celebrating. Absolute magic! Leaving it for Perreault. Perreault, cross-ice, Miller scores! Bang, bang, pass play.
That's good. Put it there. Now he's looking, he thinks he's got somebody in the middle, but that somebody in the middle, Perreault, turned the other way. That's just, again, that is a cardinal sin. And it ends up in the back of the Ranger net. Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, that is bad, because after all, as every coach has ever taught us, whenever you're in trouble, especially the defensive zone, throw the puck into the middle of the ice. That is the best way to ever quell any problems in the defensive end. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Hockey, and it is great to be back again with our usual show. Anthony will be joining us soon, and Jim, unfortunately, cannot make it here today. I, of course, am your host. Oh, hi. How's it going? All right. Nice. I love going to Pure Hockey. Actually, that's one of the things we have a sponsorship for. I never remember to put it up. By the way, guys, I, of course, am your host, Mark Williams. Delighted to be back once again. And this time I'm wide awake. Hey, how about that? And I'm joined with the host of The Final Buzzer, a man that's been working a lot, as he did on that Artemi Panarin stream, Mr. John Filkowski.
Yeah, things are about to get real interesting here in New York. We've got a couple of trades to talk about with the metro area teams. Josh picked up on this. Yep, he nailed it. But yeah, it's going to get real interesting in New York in the metro area. There's one team that's selling for sure. Is there going to be another? We know that one team is buying already, as they've made 2 acquisitions. So. Well, we'll see where things go.
Well, it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks, and especially we're going to break down the Ondrej Palat deal, as well as, of course, the Carson Soucy deal, as you saw the joke that I threw out there about the cone being handed over. But and give it a little bit of tilt so that way I don't get my head blocked out right there. But I mean, yeah, Phil, one of the great games to play every single week is what are the song lyrics, usually Metallica, that you got on there. It didn't even hit me on A Wolf and Man, which is arguably the second best song on the Black Album, I would say.
Yeah, I would say it's top 3 for sure. I think I have it. I have it behind The Unforgiven, and I think I have it behind The God That Failed as well.
Really? Even you would still put Enter Sandman further down that list. All right. Well,
maybe at 5, Enter Sandman.
I mean, that is one of their biggest hits. But we're just going to take a break from talking about Metallica right now, which is always a good topic to have. But let's go to the A block, guys, where we're going to be talking about the New York Islanders, the New York Rangers making the trades. But and of course, the A block is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the promo code Big Apple Hockey, $20 off your first order. And the Big Apple Hockey trucker hats and shirts are available. Dave, I got to drop the shirt off to you the next time I see you, which I should have given it to you the last time. Anyway, but you look at the New York Rangers this week. We'll start with them. We'll buy some time before Anthony gets on. But the New York Rangers this week, they lose to San Jose in a very Phil, I understand it was just the first 10 minutes, but San Jose put the game away in the first 10 minutes. and they get a hat trick. Sorry, they get 2 goals. I'm sorry, from potential Hart Trophy candidate back with Celebrini, and then on Monday they get a surprising rush from Matthew Robinson to win the game in overtime versus the Bruins. But that was a game that was littered with mistakes all over the place. And then also on Monday, the New York Rangers traded Carson Soucy to the New York Islanders for a 3rd-round pick. You look at what Vince Mercogliano's saying about destinations for Panarin. Could be one of the California teams, Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay, Dallas, Carolina, or the Islanders. Filk broke down thoroughly in a video on Tuesday about, it was Monday, about all the different destinations. Check that out. And also, Vinny Trocheck and Braden Schneider have also been reported to have some trade buzz around the name Sam Carrick, among others. The Rangers will also face the New York Islanders tonight and tomorrow night. So, and Carson Soucy will, of course, make his debut. One other footnote to mention, the reports have come out that Carson Soucy and his wife had a baby. Chris Drury worked to make sure that he kept him in this area so he wouldn't have to move. So, Phil, here we are right now. The rebuild, retool is started. Who's next?
Panarin, Trocheck. I mean, Sam Carrick's name I think I've heard as well. I would say probably Panarin if you ask me. I think that's a deal that probably happens next. I know that some people said that Vincent Trocheck could probably be dealt before Artemi Panarin just because he's playing on the U.S. Olympic team. I mean, that's the point. I just think that the Rangers would benefit from moving Panarin first. I like the return on the Soucy deal. Like, you basically got back what you gave up for him. Sure, that probably moves down in the standings a bit, but I mean, really, I'm not going to cry about that. It's time though. It's time to start now. The deadline, the roster freeze begins on February 4th. You need to take advantage of this. It has to happen now. So whether or not it's Trocheck or Panarin, those are like 1A and 1B on the names that are gonna go next. The destinations to be determined. We know that there's been interest from Minnesota regarding Trocheck. I wonder if Detroit and LA would get in on that as well, just because they could both use top 6 centers behind guys like Ondrej Kopitar and Dylan Larkin. I mean, LA dealt Philip Deneau earlier on this season and got rid of his cap space. Vincent Trocheck would be a nice fit there, but I do think that LA probably goes a little more towards Panarin because they need scoring help, like badly need scoring help. So for me, I could see LA going towards Panarin. I do think that Detroit and LA are definitely destinations to look out for just in general, just because I think they're going to get aggressive. I think LA needs to make a move to be able to put themselves up into the elite tier of the West, and I still think it's not just one move; it's going to be multiple moves for them. And I think Steve Yzerman, once his Yzer plan, have resulted in a playoff appearance this year. He's been there since 2019, and they have not made the playoffs in his time. They've come close, but Vincent Trocheck and Braden Schneider's name has come up too. Talked about Braden Schneider. See that in the chat. Matt saying the rumor is Detroit's looking for a number 2 center and a right-hand defenseman. Vincent Trocheck and Braden Schneider come on down. Detroit's looking to do something, but there are Craig Conroy sitting pretty right now. He's got Nazem Kadri, a player that Sean, that was just mentioned before by Matt. So. But yeah, it's going to get interesting here. I don't know where you see things going, but there's just so many different possibilities. We thought with all the guys like McDavid and Eichel and so on getting snatched up and being re-signed by their teams that this trade deadline was going to be boring. I think there's going to be the Rangers have made it a little more interesting. I will say that.
Yeah, the Rangers made it interesting. Calgary's made it a little bit more interesting. You thought maybe Calgary could take the next step or something like that to get into to maybe get into the playoffs. Instead, Calgary has kind of faltered a little bit throughout the season. They've made pushes. Let me see where Calgary is right now. They're 48 points. They're well out of the playoffs. And you thought like teams like Nashville maybe would make it interesting. But getting back to the Rangers, I mean, see,
no,
that's
Dwayne, we don't have an idea.
We don't have an idea on that. You got to assume all the Canadian teams are on there. That's usually.
I don't know if that's a fair assumption.
It's not fair,
really
but it's usually on there.
No.
A lot of guys put all the Canadian teams on there, which would be 9, and then you only have. Sorry, it would be 8, and then. Yeah, and then there's just 3 left. So I'm messing up my math for a minute. Getting back to this, I'm tempted to say Panarin is the one you could wait on because obviously there's no risk of injury with him going into the Olympics. But also that might be the reason why Trocheck, the market is so thick for Trocheck that might hold him back a little bit more. So it's hard to tell which is the next domino that's going to fall. And I think depth players are more towards the end of the trade deadline anyway. If you ask me, it's going to be Panarin, I think, and it might happen before the Olympics, just so people have 3 weeks to figure out what's going on and get him situated. That would be an ideal situation for let's say if you're the LA Kings, you need help. This way you could get Panarin to get a little bit more settled in. So it's not just on the fly as it is like if this was regular season. I can't believe that the Olympic break starts next Friday. Like it's hard to believe it's already here, Phil. And
yeah,
I mean, it's it's been a horrible season for the New York Rangers, but look, there was a great tweet I saw yesterday that broke this down. Basically, the Canucks and Rangers both lost this trade. I've never seen a trade where both teams lost. Oh yeah, they lost this trade.
Both teams lost big time.
Very much so. And again, I kind of called it to begin with, but we'll get into that in 1 second.
Look at Sir Marcus giving himself the proverbial.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to do that a lot because I said it from the start. It was a stupid idea. I don't see it. I went through all these different things, and everybody went, but he scored 100 points. He's still a dingbat.
Rant incoming.
Well, that's about as much of that. I mean, after all, look at that pass JT Miller threw up the middle of the ice. I mean, the same thing is to be said about the former captain that wore the same number, because the one thing I was taught in any level of hockey was if you're on the penalty kill in overtime, you should quickly get to the boards as far as you can away from the play and leave a 57 goal scorer wide open. But let's get away from that. Let's get back to this. I think Panarin is the next domino that falls because Mikko Rantanen went before the Four Nations break. You get a lot of these guys that they're going to press and make sure that it happens. And I think that if the center market is too thick and that there's so many teams that need a center, Chris Drury might wait and hold out and see what he could get for Trocheck. And I don't like that idea because Trocheck could blow out his knee in the Olympics. That's happened.
Just stop. Because if that happens, I'm coming after you.
All right. It's likely not going to happen, but all right. I was trying to make a more outlandish injury, but if something happens at the Olympics, then because that's happened with John Tavares. That was 2014. I think he hurt his knee at the Olympics, and then the Islanders had
Yes,
to
it was
scrap any plans that they had.
2014 at Soucy, yes.
Yeah. So while it might be beneficial to trade Trocheck, it's Panarin. And this way, if I'm LA, you get him settled in. I'm just using that for an example. You get him a place to live. He figures out what to do with his family. There is lots of guys to talk about the moving parts that happens when you're traded. It's not just player X is traded, put him on another team, put him in the lineup, and then that's it. You got to figure out what their family situation is, where they're living, how to enroll the kids in school. These are all things that are all in there. So
this is actually a good question here from Josh. No, I don't think it takes away any leverage, actually.
Actually,
I don't. I think it adds. I think, teams knowing that they can talk to him and his camp, you'll figure out what teams are going to be in the mix a little quicker that way, and then may rule out some teams. But that's just due process. That you're going to have to go about that either way. So for the sake of negotiation and the sake of getting teams involved, I think more teams are going to be open to talking about Chris Drury and talking to Chris Drury rather, and talking about Panarin, and that'll muster up a little bit of a bidding war there.
And again, you need the bidding war because you don't want the Patrick Kane situation where it was a few years ago where Kane basically said the Rangers are no one. And then the Rangers had the hammer, and they were able to get Patrick Kane and Vladimir Tarasenko for basically giving up one first-round draft pick. And that's where the good part of that was. The bad part was that the best player in all those trades ended up on the Florida Panthers because Nico Mikkola would have been a great addition to keep on the Rangers, but they don't have any cap space. So, again, there's so many guys on this Rangers roster to move. You can wait on Braden Schneider too. You also got to keep in mind, as much as you want to get rid of everybody, and trust me, you know me, everybody must go. This is a Rangers clearance sale, if you will. But you still have to field the team the rest of the year. You can't just call up all of Hartford because they got to field the team. So, but this should be a point where guys that you're trying to evaluate what their role could be at the NHL level could get there, from Scott Morrow and Noah Laba to, here's a guy I still have no idea what his role is at the NHL level, Alexei Lafreniere. As a matter of fact, I had to double check to see if he was still on the team. So where the Rangers are right now, just they're better off just trying to get this retool started and further started. I don't consider Carson Soucy as the start of the retool, and I don't consider the letter of the retool. Get it done, move on, and that's the best way to say it. Get on to the next chapter of this franchise's history. Phil, I'm getting frustrated and just losing my train of thought. So let's move on to the New York Islanders. The Islanders this week, they were sleepless in Seattle as they fell to the Kraken 4-1. Then they were blanked by the Buffalo Sabres at UBS Arena, and you saw the reaction in the open about Patrick Roy really being frustrated with the Mat Barzal line. He sat everybody on that line in the third period. And then the Islanders bounced back. Barzal scores in a 4-0 win over the Philadelphia Flyers, and Sorokin records his NHL best 6 shutout. The bigger news about this week, and I still can't believe this, Phil, Mathieu Darche made trades with the Rangers and the Islanders and the Devils, in back-to-back days. That blows my mind because you're trading with your two primary rivals, and he did on back-to-back days, and he even got extra draft picks. So, just what are your thoughts on this Islanders week right now, between a little bit of controversy and then the trades?
The Islanders come out with 2 games where you're just like, what's going on with them? And then they come back and they blank Philly, which is a little bit of a a reeling team right now. They were playing better earlier on, and now they're kind of falling off a bit. But Ilya Sorokin records his league-leading 6th shutout in that game. But I don't understand the Palat trade. I don't. I understand it only from the aspect that Darche wanted a winger that could probably slot into his middle 6 that he was familiar with. Okay. So why did you go after the older, more declining winger that you were familiar with instead of the guy that's out in Calgary that's actually making less and would have been more productive and would have fit your team better? Because here's my question. If Ondrej Palat couldn't fit in with the Devils, who try to play a similar game to the Islanders, they're not as good defensively, if you ask me. Why could you see Ondrej Palat fitting in with the Islanders then, who play, I think, even more up-tempo? And I don't think Ondrej Palat's game fits them. I mean, I don't see it with Palat. I don't. I think he's overpaid. He's declining. He hasn't been the same player since he left Tampa, where he was a perfect fit in that top 6 with guys like Stamkos, Kucherov, Point, Cirelli, and so on. And now it's a player that you had to add picks on to get rid of. And I like the trade for Fitzgerald more than I like it for Darche. Sure, Maxim Siplikov was not having the same year, a bit of a sophomore slump, compared to his rookie year, which was pretty good. I just don't think that it was a good trade for Darche. I think this is the first L I've seen in the Darche era. The Carson Soucy deal, I like. He only gave up a 3rd-round pick for a guy who was acquired for a 3rd-round pick. And he got it from a crosstown rival without having to pay a crosstown rival tax, because Chris Drury wanted to do the right thing by Carson Soucy, which is funny to see considering that, all the stuff about the Jacob Trouba and Barclay Goodrow and the whole, the dissension and the mutiny in the locker room comes down to, Chris Drury's handling of the players. So Chris Drury, it's almost like, you guys think I'm such an asshole. Let me just do the right thing by this guy. Maybe that's what happens when you're a good soldier and you don't organize mutiny in the locker room against the general manager. Soucy, they've had a revolving door on left side defense, the Islanders. And they've had some injuries. Obviously, Alex Romanov, I don't think he's going to be back for the playoffs. Other injuries, Pellick have missed time. Bringing in Soucy for a 3rd-round pick isn't horrible. You could have done worse. But the fact that they didn't have to pay a crosstown rival tax, it's actually pretty good for Darche. So I'll give the Soucy move a C+. I'm going to give the Palat move a D+. And I'm only going to say that it's because you help the Devils out with their cap space issue. That's another thing. They've been trying to get rid of Palat and Dougie Hamilton to go get Quinn Hughes. So that might be a team that if they turn things around and you have to, and the Devils get to be in the race, what happens if the Devils overtake the Islanders in the standings? You're looking back at that trade and you're saying, you just help the Devils jump ahead of you by helping them basically add by subtraction, if you ask me. Almost to that point. So, you know what? I don't agree. Last year, yes. Last year, yeah, he was bad when he came over. And I don't think there was any type of consistency. But you know what? This year, outside of Fox and Gavrikov, he's been their most reliable and consistent defenseman. Will Borgen has been hurt. Not only that, but when he's been in the lineup, he's been up and down.
Yeah.
There are games where he looks great, and then there are games where you're like, what is he doing? And you know what? I don't even want to hear it from anybody because there are still people bashing that contract left and right. So you can't say, oh, well, Will Borgen's so much better than Soucy. Meanwhile, you're sitting there and saying he's not worth that contract, not even anywhere close. People are acting like he's a replacement level player when he messes up. But then now you want to go say that he's better than Soucy's. He's better than Soucy. I don't think so. I think that gap was closed this year. And I'm not even listen, I'm not a big Soucy fan by any means. I don't think he's great. But Will Borgen has not been all that great this year for this team. So I'm sorry.
As Kevin's asking right here, are the Islanders actually for real in this, or just for real in general? And I'm leaning more towards that the Islanders are for real. I just wonder how much adrenaline they're still running on. Like, it's so hard to put a finger on them right now. Like, there are times where I'm just like, and obviously, if we had Anthony in, Anthony would be able to contradict me on some of these. But it's like, sometimes with this, I'm going, they're there, and I'm ready to see what they're going to bring. You look at the game against Colorado about 2 months ago, and when they went toe-to-toe against some of the best teams in the league. But then lately, not as good. The West Coast trip wasn't really that good. And then you also have the Buffalo game. Buffalo's vastly improved. We're going to talk about them later in Bar Talk and in our Pick'em segment. But this is where it's I get lost. I don't know. The Flyers are up and down. They've been up and down all year. They were 2 weeks ago. I thought they were going to be on cruise control and get to second place in the division. They did, and then they just jumped right back out. You don't know what to make out of the Flyers. You don't know what to make out of the Penguins. Every team in the Metro, you really don't know what to make out of them. I'm sorry to say,
except the Rangers and the Blue Jackets.
Oh, sorry. Well, even the Blue Jackets started doing better with Rick Bowness coming in, but the Rangers,
and then they fell off again. Yeah, because they just don't have the talent.
Yeah, the Rangers have been garbage all year, and but sticking with the Islanders on this one, I hope Schaefer doesn't hit the rookie wall. I think if the Islanders can get a couple more wins before the Olympic break, the Islanders will be totally fine. I think the Islanders are a playoff team. Now, when you use the term for real, does that mean they're going to win a playoff series?
Yeah,
I don't know.
All right. So Kevin, let me ask you what you mean by for real. Like, is that a playoff team? Is that winning a round or two? Is what? I mean, it's kind of a vague and broad question to ask. And I think we just need some more parameters to kind of like have the actual discussion. Because listen, I think they're a playoff team. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think you have the right now it's either 1A or 1B best goalie in the league. Because I know I picked I picked Vasilevsky as my midseason Vezina winner, but Sorokin's right there with him. Sorokin has been phenomenal,
and Sorokin was my Vezina winner.
Yeah, I know you and Anthony had him. Yeah, but, I could absolutely see Sorokin winning it. I just think I would give it to Vasilevsky for other reasons right now. But I mean, if this keeps going the way that it's continuing to go, and Sorokin continues to post shutout after shutout, and he carries them into the playoffs, I mean, we're going to be talking about him getting Hart votes. So, I mean, I think they go as far as Sorokin goes. Again, this team reminds me of the 06 Rangers. The 06 Rangers were a team that was propped up by Jágr and Lundqvist. They were a two-man show. They had a couple of supporting acts that could help them out in the forms of Nylander and Straka, the Jágr and Friends line. And then when they broke that up and they put Marcel Hossa with Nylander and Jágr, they moved Marty Straka down to play with Marty Raczynski and Peter Pruka. But, it's they don't have a great defense. They've got pieces back there. I mean, I personally would have went for someone better than Soucy. I just don't think it's a terrible move for a third. I mean, I think there are going to be other defensemen that are that are probably near his area, like in terms of skill and production, that are probably going to get a little more like a second than a prospect. GMs always overpay for defense at the deadline. Tell you right now. So you're going to see that and you're going to be like, well, wow, this guy got this. I mean, look at what Rasmus Anderson just got. He got a haul for a rental that wasn't even coming with a guaranteed extension. That was a ridiculous return for a guy like that. And Rasmus Anderson is good, but he's a second pairing defenseman. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So, I do think the Islanders can make the playoffs, but I think we need a little more context behind it for real.
Yeah, and it's the hard part is also, I mean, I think whoever finishes second and third in the Metro, at least they have a chance for the Metro division to win a playoff series. I don't mean to sound the wrong way. I wouldn't be shocked if Carolina lost in the first round, because I think the Atlantic has got much stronger teams. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked. Exactly. But that's why I'm saying I just want to clarify. I wouldn't be shocked. Getting back to this, though, the Islanders just needed a body to be there. So Soucy is a body. And maybe using him as the third pairing defenseman is good enough. You put him in a different locker room. You put him in. See, the thing is, I just don't know what the structure of Patrick Roy still provides. Patrick Roy, I think he's a guy, he can motivate his players. I don't think he's an X's and O's guy. And I think that's where I have my questions on him, because I don't see what the Islanders specifically do well. That's the thing. I have trouble with that one. That's a good question, Ricky. We might come back to that one later on in the Bar Talk segment.
Lion? Where the hell's Lion?
He's saying Alex Lyon. Is he in the Vezina? I mean, I just think he's playing well right now for Buffalo. I don't think he's Vezina, but still. Sorry. Phil's asking this one right here. The last trade the Islanders won was Horvat. Otherwise, maybe the Zajac and Palmieri deal before that, and then Boychuk and Leddy. Yeah, it hasn't been exactly a lot of moves that they've won. But this one, look, if you're going to get something out of Palat, anything, Phil, if you get a shade of the player that he used to be, then the Islanders are going to hit a home run with this trade. Now, the problem is what you said before. Darche is familiar with the guy that he used to have in Tampa. I don't know if that guy's still there.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm warming up to the trade a little bit. It's just, how are you going to be able to fit him in? Like, Lou was able to figure that out a little bit with Zajac when he brought him in for the Islanders. And there's always those players. You get those GMs that are like, I completely trust that guy. And they give him the coaches that completely trust him. And then there are some that blow up in your face like Pierre Engvall did. So that's like if you can find anyone to love as much as Patrick Roy hates Pierre Engvall, do that.
No, I think that Palat's he's declined. I look at the numbers in Jersey, 38 goals and 92 points over 248 games. And this season, in 51 games, 4 goals, 10 points, -5. Like, this is a guy that was a real good two-way player in Tampa. Like, and he got Selke votes in 2014. He finished 11th in the Selke voting that year. I mean, always been a guy that's been relied upon as a good, pesky two-way winger. And now I just don't think that player's there. I think they should have went after Coleman. I would, you know what? You don't want to, I get they don't want to mortgage the future, and they shouldn't, because they're not that close to a cup. They need to make more moves than just one or two. But I get that you want to, send a message to your locker room and your team that, hey, I believe in you. Let's go and try to win a round or two at least. So, but I don't know. I just don't think that was the right move. I think that there are other moves that they could have made.
Well, again, it's whether or not they're using him as a depth piece, and that's the reason why I'm not as I'm not as pessimistic about this trade. I mean, I do happen to think, as far as the Devils go, they got rid of a zombie. He wasn't anything to them. But you get rid of 2 draft picks on top of it to get him over there. All right. Which, by the way, according to cap wages, it's got the Islanders over the cap right now. I didn't even know that they were even that close. But there's a lot of questions. I might check Puckpedia because there's a lot of questions I have about that.
I mean, yeah, I was about to say, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Max Siplikov had a salary of his own, so that I'm kind of, yeah, it has them over by 3.24 on Puckpedia.
Okay, but you got to believe Darche is going to be working his way around that. So, or even there's thing that he's going to be doing, because obviously you wouldn't have made this deal if you're going to go over 3 point.
Yeah, it was 3.75 million that they added by swapping Siplikov for Palat. I don't know. I just I don't. Again, I just don't like.
I mean, but then again, I don't have Alexander Romanov on injury reserve on LTIR. He's just on IR.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have players on LTIR, and that's probably why they're able to go over. So
right, that's the thing about that. But let's finish out the tri-state area, guys.
6.25. Yeah.
Let's finish out the tri-state area conversation and go to the Devils, because the Devils, when they're third, they won 3 in a row. Yeah, they did. Sorry, that was on the West Coast trip.
Yeah, before the Canucks game.
Yeah, at that point they won 3 in a row as they won over the Canucks, and then they had a grungy 4-2 loss to Seattle on Sunday, and then I watched that game last night. That was not a good game for the Devils. They lost 4-3 to the Winnipeg Jets. They trade Ondrej Palat to the Islanders. As we've been discussing, for Max Siplikov. They're right now sitting at 57 points, 56 points, and they're 9 points out of a playoff spot. They do have a game in hand on the Bruins, but that really doesn't really matter that much. Phil, what exactly is the state of the Devils right now? And we're going to talk more about them later in our bar talk.
Yeah, I think it's still kind of an influx situation where they could be a few losses away from selling. They could be a few wins away from winning. I know that they got rid of, Palat's contract, so it looks like they were trying to free up cap space, maybe for a move. It's really hard to tell what they're trying to do here right now. They're about 1 month too late on this move, because they needed to get that space for Quinn Hughes. But do they have something else? Does Tom Fitzgerald have something else up his sleeve? That's really the first question that comes to mind with this team. And I don't know what that move would be. Maybe do they bring back someone like Blake Coleman? I mean, for me, I don't know if you do that and you get all that space. Maybe you flip Max Siplikov, somewhere else. I honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but I think as the weeks unfold, we'll see what Tom Fitzgerald's plan is in reality. But this team does so much in terms of, just pushing you out the door and then pulling you back in, because 1 week they look like they're gonna get back into the standings and they're gonna take a playoff spot back. And then they have just these ridiculously bad streaks of losing. I mean, I will say this: in their last 8 games, they've won 5 of them, so that's good. In their last 10, they're 5-5. They had a long 4-game losing streak where earlier in January, to begin the month, where they get blown out by the Islanders. We talked about that. That led to a 4-game losing streak. Then they win 2, lose to Carolina, win 3 in a row, and now they've lost their last 2. And it just, you lose a game like that to a Winnipeg team that's struggling without their starting goaltender, their Vezina caliber Hart Trophy winning goaltender. And then,
although he did play last night, by the way.
Hellebuck was back. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you lose to a team like that, and then now you have Nashville, Ottawa, Columbus, Islanders, and Buffalo. So Nashville's fighting for a spot. Ottawa looks like the wheels are falling off. Columbus, they look like they're going nowhere. And then the Islanders and Buffalo are really playing some good hockey right now. And you got Pittsburgh right after them, who's also playing good hockey. So this stretch is going to be – the next 6 games are going to be really, really important to the Devils. But we'll see what happens, because I don't know if I trust this team right now. And Luke Hughes, I don't think we've heard any word on him. But again, you have a team that's in flux, a team with injuries. There's been some internal stuff that's been going on behind the scenes there, where people are wondering about, the leadership and, who's in control back there. And honestly, I don't know what I make of this team anymore. They're too hard to put a finger on.
See, this is where I compliment the New York Islanders, that you don't have to worry about that, because I think I made a comment last night at the bar that you don't have to worry about their leadership, because you got Anders Lee, and then right behind him you have Bo Horvat, and I do think you got Matthew Schaefer, who's a potential captain in the future. Nico Hischier is a good captain for all reports and everything you can gather, but if there's so much stuff in flux with the Devils right now, the only thing I could equate the Devils to, Phil, is when you're playing in a poker tournament and you're watching your chip stack just dwindle because you just haven't been able to have a winning hand, and then you kind of turn over. You're looking for good cards, but you're also looking to see when you could go all in at the end, and then that's it. Because here's the thing. Getting up and leaving the table, that was the Rangers' option. Devils, I don't think, have that option. I think the Devils have to press right now. I think Tom Fitzgerald's job is on the line. And if he doesn't think it is, then you're fooling yourself, buddy, because this team was not expected to take this far of a step back. Let's be honest about the Metro. The Metro is mediocre this year. I usually try to hype the Metro up as one of the best divisions in hockey. It is, if you started another division in the NHL, the Metro would be the 5th best division. That's how bad the Metro has been. So getting to this, I think he needs the Devils to finish strong and get to the February 4th Olympic trade deadline, because they were playing well until the Jack Hughes injury. And then maybe that exposed some things. And then that's just where the entire season went off the rails. But Phil, this is not a playoff team, and it's not a playoff team that's going to have any success. So even if they do make it, like, what are you really doing it for? I don't want to allude to what I'm saying about it in the Bar Talk segment, but it's just, where are they? And that's why I think when we were talking about this in our pre-production prep, like, that's why it's, what is the state of the Devils? This is the line from last week. You still don't know. You don't have any idea. This team could lose 5 in a row, get blown out 9-0, and then the next thing you know, they win 3 in a row, and you're going, what, they're back? And then they go back home like everyone else, lose again once you get back home. So it's just they're so hard to put a finger on. And when you're an inconsistent team, when the only thing consistent about you is your inconsistency, that's not a good thing. And I think that's where we are with the Devils. And maybe they just gotta punt this season. But if that's so, is that enough to make management say Tom Fitzgerald, or ownership, I should say, that Tom Fitzgerald is our guy? Because for one, I do not see anything with him right now. But we'll get more into that in a moment. Everybody, make sure you like and hype us. I didn't even know hype was an option until my wife told me about it. So hype us until you're in hype jail. So please make sure you're doing that. And That's what she referred to as hype jail the other night. So like, all right, because you only a certain amount of times you can hype something. Anyway, guys, let's go do some NHL bar talk.
Let's kick it into high pace. Grab your mates, it's time to unlock NHL bar talk.
Layup, get the damn hoop.
We go shot here.
The easiest I've ever had to answer.
I'm actually gonna go crazy. I'm gonna buy everybody around.
We're all in this game, let the good times shake.
I do like that we all look like Disney characters in that, but that's a different story. Everybody, welcome back to Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk. We're engaging our confidence on these NHL topics based on our choice of drinking. So confident that you're buying around. So Salavira. Oh, God, I need a shot. Play along down in the comments below, everyone, and feel free to do so. Also, just as a subtle reminder and a cheap plug, just remember, it's Wednesdays. Go to Wing Wednesday at Boss Croakers. 40-cent wings, $2 tacos, $4 Miller Lights, and Yinglings. And after all, it's going to be the Rangers and Islanders tonight and tomorrow night. So go see, maybe hoop time, maybe not hoop time. All right. Well, we'll see about that. I do got to make that animation. I do have the NBA Jam where he's breaking the backboard, but I have to try to get on that one.
Oh, God.
All right. So, Phil, let's start with the Olympic roster freeze. That's coming on February 4th, and obviously it's going to go through February 22nd. And by the way, for those of you who aren't thinking about it, I want to remind everyone, February 22nd, 46 years ago, that was the Miracle on Ice. So how about that? So with the roster freeze coming next week, Phil, the New York Rangers should sit both Artemi Panarin and Vincent Trocheck until both are traded.
Beer. There's benefits to this, and there's pros and cons. Obviously, a pro is that you're going to lose games at that point, which will help them in their pursuit of a number 1 overall draft pick. And you avoid injury, but you could risk both players going cold, and you don't want that either. So I don't agree with Round. I don't. I think this absolutely works both ways. Do I think they should be playing as much as they do every night? Maybe you could tone down their minutes. Maybe this is where that load management from the NBA comes in. But I don't think you can sit there and have these guys both out unless you are absolutely close to a trade. Just trade. And again, if you're close, then you can do it, and it makes perfect sense at that point. But how close are they to deals with any of these players, with either of these players, I should say? So I don't see it. Panarin, he's not playing in the Olympics, so there's less of an injury worry with him. Trocheck, obviously, but again, neither of these guys, there's nothing imminent there. So you can't, I don't think you can sit them unless there is something imminent. So, would I? I personally, I would do this. I would. But I don't think Chris Drury's going to do that. And I don't think any NHL general manager is going to do that. And I wonder if it were to happen, does a discussion start about, this team is intentionally tanking? Does that lead to another revamp of the draft lottery rules? So I'm going to say beer because there's benefits and there's pros and cons. Yes, they did, but they were close to a couple of deals and one fell apart from what I remember. And then the Dallas one happened. So that's from my memory, that's how that went down.
I got to say shot to this. And here's a simple reason. You bench guys like this when it's, say, they're either a problem in the locker room or on the ice, or the trade is imminent. You can't bench them for multiple different games because, look, it's a losing mentality thing. it's easy for us to say this or to bench guys in fantasy, but it just sends a bad message, I think, to your organization that it's like, we're going to trade these guys. We don't want to risk injury. They matter more as an asset than anything else. No, you let them, because especially, look, I have my criticisms of Artemi Panarin, and I certainly have my praise for Vincent Trocheck, but they've earned the ability to actually play a couple games and have their final games with their teammates and then ride off into the sunset. That's for sure. Now, the other thing I also want to bring up with that is I see the Max Siplikov thank yous that were going out online. Like, do you have to thank everybody that's played for your team? I'll be like, oh, thanks for playing. I understand it was a social media post. It wasn't a video tribute, like some people that shouldn't get one, like, say, I don't know, Jacob Trouba. But there's kind of a limit to all that, I would say. That being said, it's just you can't be sitting guys out forever. It sends a bad message.
Okay, I could get on board with this. I do agree with that. I think that Perreault needs to be playing more. He's played a lot better lately. You're starting to see that Gabe Perreault is an NHL player. Brennan Hoffman gets his first goal. Very happy about that. I would definitely give them more time. But, yeah, I don't know if you can sit them for sure and say it's a round, though. You just absolutely sit them. But, yes, reduce their time and give the kids more time. 100% on board with that.
But also,
absolutely on board. If that was a question, round.
Phil, don't forget the old adage. If you're playing not to get hurt, you're going to get hurt. And it's great. And first off, by the way, a guy that's always playing 100% is our Mr. Anthony LaRocco, who's finally joined us. But Anthony, do you think the Rangers should sit both Panarin and Trocheck until both are traded?
Well, first, I just want to say it's good to be back in the good old US of A, but man, I certainly did not mind being in Mexico and getting away from this snow for a while. So that was nice, but good to be back on home soil. And I guess I got to go away more. I go away twice. I go away, and the Islanders make 2 trades when I'm away. So
and one with the Rangers of all times.
Yeah, that was. I remember waking up and looking at my timeline and seeing that tweet, and I'm like, wait a second. Did I drink too much tequila last night? Am I imagining this? The Rangers and Islanders are making a trade. Am I reading this right? But yeah, obviously that was very real, which I guess we could get into that in a little bit. Dine talk some miles. But yeah, as for this question, Mark, I kind of said, when the letter came out and Elliot Friedman said they talked to Panarin and told him that they're not going to re-sign him, they're going to look to move him. When you have a premium asset like him, obviously you wouldn't do this just for like a fourth liner, but what if Panarin were to get hurt tonight? He God forbid, blows out his knee and he's done for the year. And now, your top player you could probably get the most assets for is now on the shelf, and then he's going to walk in the summer. You're going to get nothing. So it's a little bit like playing roulette. You never know. They're certainly rolling the dice the longer they let him play. But at the same time,
it's showcasing.
Yeah, showcasing, and I don't know, CBA expert. I wonder if there's if you're even allowed to hold a player out if a trade isn't imminent, if the PA gets involved in that. But
and that's what I was talking about before. I said that what happens if this comes across as tanking, and what if the NHL gets involved in some sort of way,
Yeah, I just don't know what the rules are there. If you're allowed, I know you see it all the time. Palat didn't play last night. He was held out for roster management and he was traded. I guess my question is that I don't know, how long are you allowed to scratch a guy under those circumstances before he's finally moved? There might be a limit. So maybe that's why he's playing, because nothing's close. But at the bare root of it, yes, they should sit him. Again, you want to try to avoid injury. Trocheck's different because there's no guarantee that he's traded. Panarin, I all think we know is gone. Trocheck, it doesn't seem like he's 100% gone. So that's why I don't think the Rangers him sitting is going to be in the cards unless they get a call that knocks Drury's socks off and he moves him. So him, I understand why he's playing. Panarin, I that, like I said, that one I don't understand. But while we're on Panarin, I actually just saw this early this morning, but it was from NHL Rumor Report, and if you guys don't know, they don't actually report things; they just kind of like quote.
Yeah,
But Chris Johnson says there might not be many when it comes to Panarin. There might not be many places that it fits. It might not work. I don't think it's entirely impossible that we get to the other side of the deadline and he hasn't been moved. A lot of things have to line up here. So I thought that was very interesting because, if Panarin were to do that to the Rangers and really played hardball and like, nah, I'm not going here, nah, I'm not going here, and ends up he doesn't get traded, that would be pretty bad. But
that's why, again, Chris Drury needs to do everything to make sure this happens. And this would be nice if you have a GM, because look, I think he built teams that were able to win. He didn't get him over the top. We know about that. We could talk about that all the time. One of the worst trades that he made is the one that he didn't make. When he didn't get Jake Gensel. However, now going into this, I mean, we killed Cliff Fletcher a few years ago, me and Anthony, because it was a very boring trade deadline. That's how bad it was. But when he didn't trade James Van Riemsdyk, and it's just I agree with Josh. That's not only a fireable offense. That's not only a fireable offense. You take the picture of his family, you smash it on the ground, and then you have security push him and beat him up a little bit on the way out.
Mark, I'll get back to you, but I just want to me, none of us defend Chris Drury. But if that happened, I don't know how much of that is on Drury because Panarin holds all the cards. Panarin could be like, you know what? I'm only gonna wait.
Oh, Cliff Fletcher. Whatever. He sucked.
He could say, I'm only going to wait for Florida. Well, Florida, let's face it, there's no way they're going to pull that off. So Drury would be screwed at that point. So I don't necessarily know if it would be Drury's fault if that happened.
Anthony, if there's any way to get rid of him, you get rid of him because he's going to go for nothing.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying is Panarin could tell him, Drury could try to move him as much as he wants, but Panarin could tell him no if he really wanted to. No, I don't want to go to Dallas, or I don't want to go to Anaheim. He can say no.
Good GMs find a way to get those guys to say yes.
I mean, from that angle, sure, but at the end of the day, though, Panarin really does hold all the cards. That's the point of this.
Yes, and this is also where you take away the cards and get back to running an organization. Because again, whatever. By the way, Chuck Cliff, he was a terrible GM to begin with, but it was you end up not trading an asset. You better make sure you either keep him the way Brock Besser stayed in Vancouver, who probably regrets that decision now, or or you get him to sign on the dotted line and move. That's what you do. Maybe you threaten him and go, look, we're waiving it.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't.
Figuring that out.
And I know Johnston's just putting out something because
I agree.
That's what they're doing. They have nothing to really put out right now because there's nothing close. But I don't see that happening. I see Panarin being amenable to moving. The one thing that I can see is that the list is short.
Yes.
Yes.
The list ends up being short. And maybe that is kind of limits the return a little bit. But I'm with you, Evan, on this. I think that report is kind of just, I don't know if necessarily smokescreen as much as it is them just putting something out. Maybe it is smokescreen. Maybe it was fed to him by someone. I don't know. But I don't see it. I think Panarin knows. And from the reports that came out previously about Drury's meeting with Panarin when he told him that they were moving on from him, it went well. It was a very civil and fine meeting. There was nothing really wrong. There was no ill will or anything exchanged between the two parties. So I don't see this. I don't. And but I will say this: yes, it is a possibility. Do I see it? No.
Yeah, it's just find a way to get it done. That's a simple thing to do.
You could be right, Evan. You could be right.
Yeah.
Elliot Friedman said that he heard that Dallas is the only team that Panarin would go to where he would go as a rental. He said every other team he wants an extension with. So I thought that
So he doesn't want to sign in Dallas then.
Basically, yeah, that's the only location that he heard that he would go to without an extension. Every other team.
I think that's a bad move for Panarin. Go wherever. If the Buffalo Sabres come calling, and you go there and you help the Buffalo Sabres jump to the top of the Atlantic Division, maybe even win a couple playoff rounds.
I mean,
why not? And then you can parlay that contract into something else. Guys have done this for years.
No, I disagree. Panarin's going to get money no matter who he goes to and how he performs. He's established himself as one of the elite players in the league offensively. You know, he doesn't need to go to Buffalo to use your Mark as your example to get a big payday. He's going to get it regardless. So
yeah, here's the thing: Buffalo, and not even just them, just everybody in general. It's going to come down to the years. I mean, supposedly he wants something closer to 5 years. I think eventually the team that gets him is going to be in the 3 to 4 range.
Yeah,
and I think it's the team that goes to the 4th year, maybe even the 5th year, and gives into that. That's going to get him. I think he's going to go where there's security, where he doesn't have to uproot his family. And no, you're not. You know, oh no, he's talking about Doan. Sorry, Isilor. But I mean, yes, this is it.
Yeah,
and this is what Friedman said. Yeah, it's teams like the 2x10 or the 2x12. It's once they go beyond those 3 years. I think the team that gets him, I don't know if any team's going to go 5, but I think it's the team that gives him a 4th year that gets him. That's my conjecture there.
And again, I have to caution every Ranger fan that wanted to say this. Well, we could just resign him. Why can't they just resign him? He turns 35 at the start of next year.
Yeah, no.
As most stats say, most stats say he's dropping off at 37. So you have 2 years of that. Basically, and I'm not paying him $10 million. I'm sorry.
No,
no,
I don't even
he's
care.
He's never going to be an MVP again, guys, or MVP level type of player. I give him 2020, his first year, and 2024. But also, let's not act like for the years that this team didn't even make the playoffs, or they just weren't that good. Thanks for the 2 finals runs. We spent a lot of time on Artemi Panarin. Let's go to the team that is making additions. And you have the New York Islanders. They acquire Carson Soucy for the Rangers and Ondrej Palat for the Islanders. And I have to ask this question before
Devils.
What? The Devils. Sorry, my bad. Well, let's just fix that because I know I could have just changed the banner. Hold on, everybody. It's been a while since we've had the gift, so let's get it up there. No! All right. So anyway, Anthony, briefly give us your thoughts on that trade. And also, let me ask you this. After the depth moves to acquire Soucy and Palat, Darche will make one more move for a goal scorer.
You throwing my bar talk topic out now? That's essentially what I wrote in the rundown.
Yes.
To the Islanders bar
yes.
talk
I was
topic. All right.
bar talk topic out to you.
First, as far as the moves go, and I've talked about this on our channel about this. The Islanders, since Alexander Romanov got hurt, they've used a revolving door of guys on that left side. They did Travis Mitchell, which I actually thought looked good. You didn't notice him, which is a good thing for a young guy, but he played his 8th game, and then if he got to the 9th, he would have needed to pass through waivers, and for whatever reason, they weren't comfortable losing his waiver exempt status. And then they moved on to Marshall Warren, who, again, I thought looked good in his debut. He had a 2 assist game against Philly. He's a big body. I think he does have a future as a bottom pairing guy, maybe like a real solid number 5 down the line. But again, I guess they felt he wasn't ready. Isaiah George, which if he didn't get hurt, like he would have been the first guy to get the call. But this season has been a disaster for him injury wise. He just came back. Bridgeport, the Islanders called him up. He played the other night. They send him back down after the trades because they needed to make roster room. But again, he looked good last year. Played 33 games, but injuries set him back. So he's not getting the job because he needs more time to continue to develop. And then they tried Mick Ward, who was a right side defenseman, but they were playing on the left. And, they gave him a trial run, and, he wasn't that great either. So, yeah, they've been scouring for a veteran, and Carson Soucy is who Darche landed on. And I heard a little bit of Phil's show the other day, and I think you said that, Soucy was probably, he said maybe been the Rangers' third best defender this season. So he's not bad. He's just not great. He's a guy that you need to kind of manage his minutes, and you don't want him playing top pair minutes. But in a bottom pair, what he's going to be playing with, I have no issue with it. So, hopefully with the Islanders, he can, being on a team that's going to make the playoffs, maybe that increases in game a little bit more. But yeah, not a major move, nothing to really jump for joy or cry over. And then for Palat, this one surprised me because we all know he's had a terrible year in New Jersey. Not good. He's the $6 million price tag, and this is reminiscent to kind of like how Lou Lamoriello liked all his Jersey players. I feel like this is Mathieu Darche dipping into a well from a guy he knows in Tampa Bay and hoping that maybe playing under him again and being on a team that's going to make the playoffs kind of reinvigorates him. But so no, I don't love this one, but I could see where he was going with it. I do agree with Filk. I would have liked Blake Coleman too, but it's not a price that Darche, I guess, was willing to pay. And on the flip side of it, Max Siplikov has been basically healthy scratch the whole season. He fell out of favor with Waugh. And, I guess Darche felt that, Siplikov, who had been playing fourth line minutes, he really isn't a fourth line guy. Palat more fits that role than Siplikov does. So, and then, I guess the positive thing is he did get his third back that he gave up to get Soucy, and along with the sixth. But yeah, this one I'm not in love with. But again, I'm also not going to cry about it either. It is what it is at this point. You just have to hope Palat can raise his game. He's playing on the line with Bo Horvat and Heineman tonight. So maybe playing with those guys can kind of help him out too. But, I think needless to say, though, this does show that Darche is, he believes in his team. These are depth moves. Last part of that question mark is, will he add another scorer? And I believe he will. He did a spot today on, don't know which podcast it was. I got to go back and look. But he said that he's not afraid to move a first rounder if he has to. And I think the Islanders are going to be looking for a goal scorer. They need that. These two moves don't fix that problem. So he still needs to go out and get one. And I won't be surprised, from now until the deadline, you see him make a move for a guy that's actual, difference maker. Whereas these are depth moves. But needless to say, Islander fans always kind of want their team to make moves and show that they believe in the team. And, this is what Darche did. So you can't really complain about it too much. You just have to, in Palat's case, you just have to hope he could try to raise his game.
Filk, do you think Darche is going to add another goal scorer?
I could see it. I just wonder what lengths he's willing to go to. Again, I don't see him wrecking his future or, mortgaging or anything like that. But does a player with term come along? Like, would he go after Nazem Kadri? And I know Nazem Kadri doesn't necessarily fit his timeline, but he doesn't have a lot of term left, but could help in the immediate future. I just wonder, again, what extent is he willing to go to? So I'm going to say beer here because what's available? What's available that could really help out? Again, this is why I would have went for Coleman. Because even if you don't come out with anybody after Coleman and Coleman's your move, like, okay, you didn't give up a ton of cap space. And if you were sending Siplikov and other assets back in return for Coleman, the salary increase wasn't a whole lot. So it would have went from what, 2.25 for Siplikov to what, 4.9, I think, for Coleman. So it's what, a $2.6.5 million increase in cap from one to the other player. And then you'd still have moves or still have space available to make for other moves. Yeah, I know that they're going to have that LTIR space from Romanov because I don't think he's coming back for the playoffs. I don't know if I see it. I think his injury might be a little too serious, and I think the timeline might be a little too far. But what's available? That's the first question: is what's available, and two, does a player with term become available for them to make a big move for? So I don't think he's making moves on rentals unless they're like kind of like a Soucy type deal where it's very, very small. But if according to these numbers, so they have about what, 7 million and change to work with.
Yeah,
basically. Isildur is asking, for Stamkos. I don't know if Nashville's looking to move him right now after his resurgence.
Yeah, that's going to be a question we're going to talk about later with the
Jordan Kyrou. I mean, maybe, but that would be a big swing, and that would be for a 27-year-old player that has term left on his deal. So, again, are you mortgaging your future for Kyrou? And if you are, is he the difference maker that you want to mortgage the future for?
You know what other Blues player is actually I think on the Athletics trade.
I know where we're going.
Robert Thomas.
I think he likes to push people around at 3 a.m.
Robert Thomas.
Yep. I don't know. I don't see Robert Thomas going anywhere yet.
I mean, I'm not convinced of it either, but he's on there on the trade boards, and now that's a guy 26 years old, back-to-back 80-point seasons. He's a guy I move a lot for. Under contract too. I think 4 more years at 8.13. Yeah,
I am not moving Yzerman for and Yzerman in a first for Bertuzzi. No way.
No, hell no.
No way.
No. Even if Bertuzzi was signed for several years, no. Bertuzzi is
Yzerman in a first would be part of the deal for Robert Thomas. I can tell you that.
I'd sign up for that.
That would be a different story.
Who wouldn't sign up for that?
And again, I guess that's where I have to say Beer, because I think there's a lot of teams that are putting feelers out there. Thomas is a guy that's definitely, I think, somebody you could build around. I know his season has been
he's been hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. It hasn't been great. And Kyrou has been inconsistent. But, I mean, no, I am not moving. I'm not moving a first and Yzerman for him. No. This is something that if Darche is going to add a guy, don't try to speed up. Look, you already saw it with the Rangers, and in a way you saw it with the Devils too. If you try to speed run this, it blows up in your face. So don't go on your own terms. Maybe add a guy, but I think you're going to add like a potential, like a buy low guy, not somebody that's going to be costing you that on there. Guys, I'm going to announce this next one, and then I'm going to run downstairs because I think I got to move my car. One advantage that the guy in Mexico and the guy in Florida doesn't have to deal with this week. Right now, they're plowing my street, and I'm just watching. I see a spot opened up, and maybe if I can move, I can get them to do this other side of the street. So I'll be right back in a minute. But let's say this. Look at the Eastern Conference standings right now, guys, and this is the wild card standings. You got Montreal 65, Boston 62, 65, and wild card 2. Florida's 59. It's go time for Florida, although they lost last night to Utah. The Flyers, God only knows. The Toronto looked good until last week, and Washington's actually got a plus goal differential, yet they're sitting there at 57 and Jersey at 56. But with the Devils 9 points out of wild card 2 before the Olympic roster freeze, starting on the 4th. Anthony, we'll start with you again. The Devils are officially sellers.
I mean, you're talking 9 points out of the wild card though, but I believe for the third in the Metro, I think they're only 5 points behind the Islanders. So, yeah, wild card at this rate may not be the best path for them. And I think it's still a big if with them. If they want to get in the playoffs, I think it would be through the Metro. So. I'm not going to label them as sellers yet. I don't think them moving Palat is a selling move. I think they want them to move that contract regardless. So I don't think that factors into the equation. But no, I don't think they're sellers yet. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I'll say that now. But I believe Fitzgerald still thinks that this team can get into the playoffs. So I'm going to go with a shot with this one for them being sellers. But again, I also don't see them making the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't like the word officially because that means it's like confirmed that they're going to sell. I'm going to say beer just because of the fact that I think that they are, and we'll get the beer up there because Sir Marcus is away for the second. I think that we're going to see this team go back and forth. I eventually think that they're going to buy because I do think, like you said, I think Fitzgerald's job might be on the line.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on what happens with this next stretch of 6 games for them. Because their next 3 games, they seem like winnable, but then they've got the Islanders and the Sabres, and those are going to be 2 tough games for them. The last time the Islanders and the Devils played, that was not a good game for New Jersey. That was one of the worst games in franchise history. So could I see a repeat of that? No, but I could also see the Islanders absolutely shutting them down. So, yeah, I think that if anything, I just think it's too early to say official. So I gotta say beer, but we will move on. I wanted to kind of keep this going a little bit, but there's not a whole lot to say further about it. So last night, speaking of the Sabres defeat the Maple Leafs 7-4, which the score that Anthony LaRocco is probably very happy about, considering his hatred of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So the Sabres win their 7th in their last 10 games, just crazy to think about. And they moved into 3rd place in the Atlantic Division. Like, are we in backwards world right now?
Yeah.
Like, is this bizarro land? Because we're really going to ask this question. Lindy Ruff is a Jack Adams finalist as of right now. Anthony, floor's yours.
I mean, the Sabres, I think the run they're on, like 19-3 and something over the last 20-something games, which is really impressive.
Since Kevin Adams was fired?
Yeah, I don't think that's coincidence. But, I mean, this is fine. I would think he can certainly make a case he should be. I mean, we talked about John Cooper. We all agreed that he was our pick for the Jack Adams. And then you can't forget about the work that, Todd McClellan's doing in San Jose. And then you have Marco Sturm. I think Marco Sturm deserves some credit as, you look at that team before the season started and, no one really predicted them to be back in kind of like the playoff mix. But there they are. So got to give Marco Sturm his due. And then, that from there, so I would name like kind of 3 guys that I think are deserving. So, Lindy, but I do lump Lindy Ruff in there with them. So it's hard to say. Like I would think based on how remarkable their run is right now, and how it looks like they will break their playoff drought. I'm gonna say beer, because I think he would certainly have a strong case for it. But again, I mentioned some of the other guys that are right there too.
Yeah, I mean, we're still not even in February yet.
Yeah.
Sabres have played 52 games, so they have 30 games left. Anything can obviously happen within these next 30 games. But the way that they're playing and the vibes around that team since Kevin Adams firing, it's a completely different team.
Yeah.
But since the words are as of right now, and this just we're talking right now strictly at this moment, then because of those words, I am actually going to go round. I'm going to go round here because I think that we have a team that has really changed and turned things around. And for the first time in years, it seems like the air of dysfunction and malaise that has clouded this franchise for the last 15 years has been lifted. It's crazy to think about, but it's wow. Just, I mean, guys look like they're starting to fight for each other. You're starting to see in scrums they're starting to come together for each other more. The interviews, there's a lot more positivity in their interviews, and yeah, that comes with winning. But I just think, like, when I look at the Islanders, and we've talked about this before, the whole Lou versus Lou after Lou thing, and how the vibe has changed, and you can see them having more fun and doing things that they weren't doing under Lou. I think the same thing has happened in Buffalo. And it's funny that the firing of a general manager would do that. Mm-hmm. So it makes you wonder, like, what was the relationship like between the players and Adams then at that point? If this is the byproduct of firing Kevin Adams. If this happens immediately after firing him. So for me, yeah, I'm going to say round on this because I just think that for them to go on that type of run after Lindy Ruffin, like, there's like always a new coach bump and everything like that. We talked about that. And, with Peter Laviolette last year, not last year, but the year before. And, some other coaches that have been brought on, like, Chris Knobloch going to Edmonton and then having that new coach bump and the run they went on. But yeah, I think there's something to be said for a new general manager run. I would love to see what would happen with Chris Drury being fired with this case. I mean, not that the Rangers have a great team or anything like that, but I mean, you got rid of the vibes there, that cloud. I mean, players can just go out and play. So yeah, round for me.
I think actually you hit the nail on the head when you referred to him as a cloud, like a dark cloud. When the GM, that's your boss, he's literally watching you from the top of the building. So they're like those cartoon dark clouds that are over your head, just raining on you the entire time. That's sort of what these general managers are. And you know what? They started winning. They were on a 3-game winning streak when they fired him. And I think Lindy Ruff was starting to take hold of the team and actually get them to start turning around. And he's done this with the Devils, where they've turned around and then suddenly they regressed back to their means. With Buffalo, you're hoping that's not going to be the case because look, Buffalo deserves a winner. We have ragged on them so much since the start of the three of us doing this show. And I don't want to praise the J.J. Peterka traded anyway, guys. But
yeah, it looks like it's worked out well for them because Michael Kesselring has been solid.
Yeah.
And Josh Doan has been one of the surprises of the year.
Absolutely.
Nice deal for him. I mean,
yeah,
I think it may be a little early, but they're banking on that development curve. So good for Josh Doan, man.
But I mean, we still looked at that trade and went, that's all you got.
Yeah.
For number one forward on the market. So just because it's worked out doesn't mean it was a good trade. But you're looking at Buffalo right now, though. I'm starting to believe that this team can actually kind of maybe even get home ice advantage in the first round. I don't know whether or not they're good enough to get all the way to the top of the division. We'll see about that. There's still a lot left of the season to play. But, I mean, Lindy Ruff has done a great job. I put him as a finalist, so I got to go round as well. I still give it to John Cooper right now. John Cooper's done a hell of a job. I know you guys have already talked about Torney in Utah. I don't know if you mentioned him yet. Sorry, guys, but I had to go. The best part is, by the way, I had to move my car from one side of the street to the other, but it was plowed, but not plowed enough where I could actually get close enough and feel comfortable that some car isn't going to take off my side view mirror. So I'm probably going to have to shovel after that. Again, this is problems you have in the north, and I know that some of the people that are more familiar with snow are thinking less of me right now. So, but getting to this, just one last word, and the people in Buffalo right now that could be listening to this, that it's just
they're like, hold my beer.
Yeah, come on. This Lindy is a good coach. We had him left for dead. We had him left for dead. We had Brunette left for dead. We had Tournier questions on him, and look at where they are now. Utah. Well, we're going to talk about Utah in a second, everybody. But you got Nashville's at least competitive for a wild card right now, and the Buffalo Sabres are the hottest team in the NHL. It's ridiculous what they're doing right now. Anyway, let's talk about that team that they traded JJ Peterka to, the Utah Mammoth. 8-1-1 in their last 10. They have 60 points. They're 3 points up on wild card 1. And right now it seems like they're firmly entrenched in a playoff spot. Phil, I'll go to you first. Utah will not drop out of a playoff spot for the rest of the season.
I can't say either way for sure with this team. I gotta go beer here. They are 8-1-1 in their last 10, and it's a good team. It's a really good team. They have pieces. Josh Jones, we talked about, has been an absolute revelation for them. I love what Carl Vejmelka is doing. He's one of the league leaders in wins this year. Vejmelka has been very, very good for them. Josh Jones not even on there anymore. Duh. Wow. I messed up. Got it. Yeah, but I like what's going on in Utah. I can't definitively say one way or another, though. That's just too much. I'm sorry. I can't. I gotta go beer here for sure. But do they have pieces to the point where you think that they're gonna make the playoffs? Yeah, you absolutely do. I don't know how they're going to be with the injuries. That's the only thing. They've had some players miss time. I mean, I don't know. Logan Cooley has missed some significant time. Is he coming back?
He is in a non-contact jersey skating with the team right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when he's coming back, how he's going to be when he comes back. But I mean, Durzi's missed time. I believe he's back though. But they have pieces. I'd like to see them make a move at the deadline though. I really do. I don't think they're going to be on a Panarin. I think a player with term is probably, and again, Bill Armstrong was on Jeff Marek's show and on Daily Face-Off on the sheet, and said that they didn't want to mortgage their future, but they would consider deals that can help them out in the short term as long as it didn't affect their future. So, yeah, I want to see what move they'll make. Again, I'd imagine it's going to be a player with term. So, but for this, beer.
All right. Anthony, what do you got for Utah?
I think it's a beer. It's hard to say. I mean, but with that said, I am confident they're going to get in the playoffs. I mean, if you look at some of the teams that trail them by 3 points. So Seattle, I mean, I don't really believe in Seattle. They're 3 points behind Utah. I take Utah over Seattle, just put the young talent Utah has alone. And then LA. I mean, they've been a disappointment this year. They're really struggling to score. You know, they at least have the pedigree to kind of catch Utah and knock them out of that spot. But I don't get the warm and fuzzies about LA. And then aside from them, then you're getting into Nashville is 4 behind and Chicago is 6 behind. So with that, just forget about it. So yeah, I mean, I do think they're going to make the playoffs, but to say they may not drop out for a day if Seattle gets hot, let's just say, and Utah maybe loses 2 in a row. So that could happen, but I'm not going to say shot around definitively because of that. But so I'll go beer. But again, I will say they will make the playoffs.
Guys, this is a question that they have had to answer for a long time. Can they deal with prosperity? Can they get through adversity? And when it's time for them to step up, usually January is the month that always has killed them when they were Utah last year, Arizona years before that. 2 years ago when they were in Arizona, and I actually did a mark on the road there, they were actually in playoff positioning and then proceeded to lose basically every single game for about a month. It's time for Utah. I'm going to go round on this specifically because I think the players are motivated. I think the coach is motivated. I think the ownership's motivated, and they'll make the GM motivated. I know they're not going to go too far off their timetables, but they're going to make sure as Logan Cooley's coming back, they are going to add a piece or two to make them a playoff team. And for one, I can't wait to see it. So let's see Utah in the playoffs, because after all, you got to look over at the Pacific and see they're really struggling. They're sort of like the Metro of the West, where you have the Pacific, you have Vegas leading it with 63 points and a ton of overtime losses. Edmonton at 62 points, and they've been up and down. Anaheim, who just came out of a long losing streak, and San Jose, who's the number 2 wild card. The San Jose's wild card 2 right there, Phil. But you got LA Kings at 57 and Seattle at 57. So, Anthony, one of the California teams must win the Artemi Panarin sweepstakes to make the playoffs.
I'm going to go shot on this. So, San Jose, they're Will Smith, Celebrini, they're Misa, they're on the uprise. And what Celebrini is doing, what Smith's doing, and how they've surprised to this point is unbelievable. They added Sherwood, which will give them some nice depth. But they're not a team at this stage. Similar to the Islanders, when you talk about them spending some of the premium assets they built in, they're not at the stage to really go in with a guy like that. And not for nothing, Artemi, we talked about this, but Panarin is going to be specific on where he plays. Panarin isn't going to wait for San Jose. I just don't see it. I mean, Friedman just said that he thinks Dallas is the only team he'd wait for without an extension. So, Anaheim, you hear about more. There's the Quenneville connection, and they have former Rangers. So, I mean, that is more of a possibility for sure. But I'm still not convinced Panarin will wait for them either. I mean, I think if there's any California team he would wait for is LA, and they got the one with the not as bright future as the other 2 teams. I just think it's because Panarin cares about location a lot, and LA is LA. LA is a great place to live when you have a lot of money. It's very diverse. So I could certainly see Panarin, putting roots down in LA. Can I see him putting roots down in the Bay Area of like San Jose, Oakland? That's really not even. No, absolutely not. So I don't think. And aside from that, and just where he wants to play long term, if you get specific with the teams, San Jose shouldn't do it right now. You stay the course. Anaheim, I mean, you can make a little bit of course for them because I think they've been on. San Jose's kind of only been on the upswing this 1 year. Anaheim has been building towards this for the last 2 years or so. So Verbeek may want them to take the next step. But again, I don't know if Panarin will go there. And then LA, if you're just talking about them hockey-wise, I mean, yeah, they need scoring. I just mentioned that. They do need scoring, and he would help them out in that regard. But, asset wise, they don't have a ton. So are they going to give up a green tree to get him or someone? I don't know. I do think Panarin would resign there. I just don't think LA is in the position where they're going to pony up for him. So,
all right, Filk, one of the California teams need to win the Panarin sweepstakes.
I'm going to say round. I'm going to say round because I think, and I don't think it's San Jose. I don't think San Jose is going to do it. But I do think LA and Anaheim both need to land him. And the reason I say that is because Anaheim wants to get back to the playoffs, and they're going to need another game breaker that's going to help them out and get them closer to the other elite teams in the West. Same with LA. They need, LA, I think, needs them more than Anaheim does. But it's in order for them to get to the playoffs, and I don't think they want to miss the playoffs in Ondrej Kopitar's final season. In order for them to get to the playoffs, I mean, they need scoring depth. LA is led by Adrian Kempe in the goals department. And I mean, there's nobody that's really close to a point per game there on that team. Who do they have? And I can actually see Panarin going to Anaheim because I think the one thing that you're leaving out, Anthony, is a familiarity factor. And players like situations where they can go into and feel comfortable. And I think he could go to Anaheim and feel very comfortable having several former teammates and his former coach there. And I you know what? I know the report says Dallas is the one team that they've heard that he would be okay going to as a rental. I could see Panarin going to Anaheim and maybe even doing it as a rental because maybe he doesn't want to live there. Maybe he wants to live in a city like LA. Maybe, I mean, then again, this is just interpretation because he went from, Chicago to Columbus, didn't want to stay in Columbus and then chose the Rangers. I get it. We're looking at in a historical fashion, but again, that was a 27, 28-year-old Artemi Panarin. Maybe things have changed for a mid-30s Artemi Panarin that has a wife and now kids. So, again, things can change. So I'm going to say round here. I think both of these teams need him just from the standpoint of they need the extra scoring. In Anaheim, you could even point to the Leo Carlson injury. How long is he going to be out for? Artemi Panarin could come and help them out big time as a play-driving winger.
That's why the phrase of this is one of the California teams must win. And I think that's the thing. All I have to do is pinpoint one of them. LA, and we haven't done this all show, Phil. LA. They really could use him. I just don't know if he's going to make that much of a difference, even if they do win. It's Anaheim, I think. And that's why I think I have to go around on this. Because if Anaheim is able to bring him in and get a little bit more consistency goal scoring, although they've been having trouble kind of keeping the puck out of the net as of late. So maybe that's really where they should be focusing on, not trying to add goals, trying to take away goals. But if Panarin gets in there, I think that's a major flex for their locker room as soon as that happens, where you're going, hey, Artemi Panarin's coming in. You got a couple players that he just was on a President's Trophy team with. Those are big things, and that's why I think if he goes to Anaheim, that's a huge, huge add for them. And Anaheim, then I'd say, is a playoff team. All right, guys, before we get out of Big Apple Hockey's bar talk, just there are those moments that make you shake your head where you just get up and go, "You're just real dumb. I can't believe you really did this." But William Nylander fined $5,000 for giving the middle finger to the camera while sitting in the press box. Look, I do this with friends and brothers all the time. Like that, that's like almost a wave. But I don't do it as a professional hockey player in Toronto in a press box. And I believe it was the game where Mitch Marner came back. So there's another one. Phil, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on Nylander's actions?
Kind of dumb. He said it was a moment of anger. It looked like he was having fun.
Yeah, it looked like he was having fun or sarcasm.
Yeah, it looked like a cheeky little thing. I'm not going to go crazy over it because it's just something that everybody does, I think, in their time. But yeah, I'm not gonna hammer him for it. It's stupid. You gotta watch what you're doing. You don't want to do it on camera. Like, you know that you're on camera because you know the camera's looking at you. Like, he knew he was on camera.
Oh, he
knew
looked
what
right at the
was
monitor, then looked right at the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, dumb, and it's gonna, get you fined. It happened. It's done. It's over with. Don't do it again. Don't be stupid and get fined again, man. But again, he could have done a lot worse. I know that you're representing a team and you're representing a brand when you do something like that, so you got to be careful with what you say and do. But there could have been so much worse that could have been done or said that he could have been hammered for. But again, just don't do it again. I mean, just for me, it's slap on the wrist, move on.
Anthony, you think the same thing?
Yeah, I was listening to Elliot Friedman today on Sirius XM. He always joins the guys on Wednesday mornings, and I like what he said about it. He's like, look, I'm not a Puritan. He's like, honestly, I really don't care about it. But the thing that he brought up was it's the underlying thing. So it's like your team. First off, it's Toronto, hockey hotbed. Everything you do is scrutinized. Your team is a disaster this year. So when you encompass all that and you have one of their best players, kind of like flipping the bird, it's just not a good look. The act itself, do I really care about it? No, but again, he's a professional athlete. You need to think before you do these things and the ramifications it's going to have. And yeah, I mean, picture this. Could you imagine Sidney Crosby flipping a bird at a camera?
Nope.
No. He would.
Yeah, he's an even bigger ambassador to the game.
And I know, I know everyone has different personalities, but the point I'm making is, you're a professional athlete. Like, have some decorum and be more professional. Especially when your team's a tire fire, you're playing in Toronto. You really have to think about your actions. But other than that, those are my thoughts on it.
And it was in the game that Marner came back. What are you doing? Any other game? Pick any other game. This is the way that I said this, and I kind of said this recently about a bunch of things. It's like when your friend does something stupid, and you're always going to defend him, and really, maybe if it's not that big of a deal. But there's other times where your friend does something stupid, and you have to yell at him and be like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you even doing this to me? Why do I have to step up to defend you now when he could have just let well enough alone? Or just not done something. And as far as Nylander goes, like, you're supposed to be a leader on this team. And it was cheeky. That's the best way to say it. And juvenile is another one. And again, it's stuff that I do all the time. I flip the bird everywhere. But it's just, I'm not doing it at a camera that I know that's on me in a game that everyone's watching in a city that's a rabid hockey base that is going to be left to interpretation on that. That's just dumb. It's stupid. Or as Red Foreman would say, nice job, dumbass. But it's just what are you doing? And this is where then it brings up the rest of it, as Anthony said, and what one of the comments, I think Evan said it down below. It now makes it into, or Ryan Graves actually said it, where it was it brings up
Joe Graves, not Ryan Graves.
Oh, Ryan Graves. Oh, jeez. Joe, I am very, very sorry about that. You would be a lot better of an NHL defenseman than Ryan Graves, I can tell you that. But this is one of those things. This is one of those things that didn't need to happen, and it didn't need to have questions come up, and it's just ridiculous. What are you doing to us, man? Slap him upside the head, move on. but it's something that it's more irritating when it needs to be addressed. All right, guys, that was the end of Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk. We gauged our confidence on NHL topics based on our choice to drink. Let's do some pick'ems.
I've got a gut feeling.
You want me to do two things?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Now shoot!
And of course, hey Anthony, have we done any since it says the gut feeling thing? Have we done any of the Anthony makes his deadline predictions? Or
no, I need to do that now that we're about what 5 weeks out or so 6 weeks out.
Yeah, we might be 5 days out, so it might be even less.
Oh, because the Olympic freeze, yeah.
So hopefully I could get one of those out for you soon enough. But guys, here's the Big Apple Hockey Pick'ems. We're gonna throw out some choices, and we're gonna have to make our selections. So let's start with this one. I got to come up with a better intro for that. But more underappreciated breakout star this season, Lucas Raymond or Matt Boldy? Anthony, I'm going to start with you.
Boldy broke out, or you could say he broke out last year with the year he had. I don't know. And even Raymond was really good. So I think you could have asked this question last year. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know how to answer this one because I think they already both kind of broke out, Mark. But
then let's eliminate the word broke out. Breakout.
I'm gonna go Boldy just because I think he's more of a goal scorer. This is a guy that I think can score 40 goals. But yeah, I know. I think they already broke out and established themselves as phenomenal good players.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that with these guys are both point per game players this year, which they weren't last year. So, I'm gonna go with Raymond. I just think that there's not enough talk about him. I think Boldy, there's talk because he's playing for USA and there's a lot more coverage of USA over there. He was good at the Four Nations. I think Lucas Raymond doesn't get talked about enough. That's just me.
I think too highly of Matt Boldy to say Lucas Raymond. So I got to go Matt Boldy. I love the way he plays. I love that he's physical. And yeah, it's also my American bias too on top of that. And there's one last thing is because I could already hear someone in the comments go, oh, well, the Rangers should have passed on Lafreniere for Lucas Raymond. I also want to make it clear. Tim Stützle would have been Alexei Lafreniere on the Rangers. It's just that simple. It's not the player. It's the way that they're deploying them. So, well,
I think the skating. I think with this, the thing is that the skating. I don't want to really get into the whole Lafreniere thing because I've talked about it before. But I think the skating and there's also motivation factors with him. Just other stuff that goes beyond the ice with Lafreniere that holds him back.
Well, but again, I still think I'd have to go with Boldy on this one. Phil, let's go right back to you. Bigger surprise bounce back season, Mika Zibanejad or Ryan O'Reilly?
This is funny because O'Reilly is having like a career year this year. He's over a point per game. Zibanejad is a bit of a surprise too because he's just under a point per game right now, and he's doing it on a worse team. Who thought that the Rangers would be a worse team than the Predators this year after last year? Who honestly thought that? I'm gonna give it to O'Reilly by a very slim margin, but both of these guys are having years that I don't think anybody expected them to have.
All right, Anthony.
I'm gonna go Zibanejad because Riley. I listen. I know last year Riley had 53 points, but this year he's got 51 points already. But I mean, for me, the fact that O'Reilly hit 53 points just last year, to me, I don't view as this year as a bounce back year. I think in the year before that he had 69 points. So I think this is just who Ryan O'Reilly is. He's just playing at a little better version than he did last year. So for me, I'm gonna go Zibanejad on this.
I gotta agree with you on this one. I think it's Zibanejad, and the reason why I'm going to say for Zibanejad is when JT Miller was acquired, the brilliant decision making of Chris Drury moved Zibanejad to the wing, and everybody said, "Well, basically, Zibanejad's a wing now." I can't help but notice JT Miller is back at wing, and Mika Zibanejad's the center now. So now Zibanejad is a center again. Look, I hesitate before gushing too much about this Mika Zibanejad comeback season because a lot of his points, they're just empty calories. Sorry to say it like that. Thanks for the Winter Classic. Yeah, the first ever hat trick, 5-point game. Good for you. You got the trophy. But let's also forget that you're getting production out of like games like the Ottawa Senator game where they were down 6-0 before they really showed what they could do, or when they led 1-0 versus the Boston Bruins and lost by 8. So it's stuff like that. Like before I give too much credit to gush over Zibanejad, but the fact that he's a center again and he's earning his money as a center matters more than what is going on with Riley and O'Reilly, I should say. And that's where I'm going to stick with that one. Let's stick with another New York player and another former Colorado player. But which center fetches a better return on the market? Anthony, I'm going to go to you. Is it Nazem Kadri or is it Vincent Trocheck?
I think it's going to be Trocheck. I think I don't know. The thing about this is I'm not convinced that either of them get moved. I think Kadri had said that, if a move comes along that's appealing to him, that he would go. Other than that, he's not banging down the door to get out of Calgary. And then Trocheck, obviously, same case. I mean, he like Panarin, he's not a definite to go. It all depends on if the team blows, their general manager's socks off. So, and if that happens, I think Trocheck is going to get the better return, just based on kind of like my gut feeling.
Filk?
I'm going to go Trocheck. And I could see the Minnesota Wild doing it too. There's been a lot of smoke coming out of Minnesota, not just from New York Ranger beat writers, but Minnesota's beat writer for The Athletic, Michael Russo, who's probably their top guy, I think, of all their beat writers over there, have went and said that Billy Guerin and his staff absolutely love Vincent Trocheck. And I think you could see that by that Olympic selection, especially when he's not having the greatest year. So, I think this is right from Josh here. I mean, he needs to move. He's the best asset the Rangers have. I think he gets the best return. I wonder if Detroit would get in on him, because the rumor is that Detroit needs a number 2 center and a right-hand shot defenseman. And the Rangers have both of those that they could offer up to Detroit. So, and Detroit's got some assets to move too. They have a pretty good farm system. Not the greatest, but it's a good enough farm system to get a deal done there. So I'm going to go with Trocheck. I'm not going to highlight Evan's comment just because of some words that he used there, but he does make a good point about GMs having a thing for cup winning experience. They definitely do. But I don't think that that's going to be the determining factor for Kadri over Trocheck. I think teams are going to see a younger player that's still in his prime years, probably about to exit soon, but I think he's probably the better fit for a lot of teams.
Both these players are signed to 28-29, and both of them have modified no trade clauses. Trocheck comes with $1 million and just under $1.5 million less price tag than Nazem Kadri. Kadri plays with a little bit more of an edge than Trocheck does. That benefited Colorado when they won the Stanley Cup. I'm still going to lean towards Trocheck because I do think that he's gonna probably be he's more of a team guy, and I just think Bill Guerin is going to want him on his team, so he might actually try to jump at that and make it happen. I just shake my head at what offers these guys could possibly get back. But that's a different story. And Kadri's been money in the playoffs, so let's see about that. Last one. I still can't believe this, guys. A little bit of news came out yesterday that Bill Belichick, who has the most Super Bowl wins of any coach all time, is not going in the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. Some people say it's because of Deflategate. Some people say it's because of Spygate, or maybe, I don't know. It could be about maybe they just have their issues with him. But if that's the case, because of you're saying you want to delay it because of scandal, Joel Quenneville will not get in on the Hall of Fame ballot, on his first Hall of Fame ballot, just like Bill Belichick.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I think he's not gonna get in on the first ballot. I think that they'll hold that Chicago scandal against him. And again, I don't want to go into details on that. We've already talked about that in the past. It's well talked about, but I do think Joel Quenneville deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Again, he's a guy that has one of the greatest coaches of all time when it comes down to it. There's multiple parties to blame for what happened there. A lot of blame to go around, but I do think it will get held against him, and he probably won't get in on the first ballot because of it.
Anthony?
Yeah, I agree with Phil. I don't think he's going to get in the first time around because of what transpired. I think he will get in, but not the first time.
The wokest of woke sports media the wokest of woke media, sports media, I should say. And they're going to sit back and they got memories like elephants, and they're going to hold this against them. Here's my question. If the same thing comes up, it's just one of those things of, if you mean to tell me Spygate was the big thing with Bill Belichick, and I know we're talking about apples and oranges as far as scandals go, but if Spygate was the big thing and then Deflategate was the other thing, well, Deflategate it was such a nothing thing. Spygate was a different story. But the guy still went to 9 Super Bowls. He went to that's just as a head coach. He went to 1 as an assistant coach, 2 more as a coordinator. He's won 6 in total. Sorry, 8 in total, I should say. Stop with the holier than thou thing.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from that and let's go to Puckdoku here. So
yeah, I agree with you guys 100% on that one. It's just
son of a.
Hey, Anthony, now you got. Did you notice the comments? Now you got a Mariota son of a bitch that that I was getting before.
Good.
All right. Okay. So for your X-Access, you got the New York Rangers, the Montreal Canadiens, and a 30 assist season. That's in a single season, and they have to do it as a San Jose Shark. For your Y-Access, it's the Sharks. It's the Sharks, the Ottawa Senators, and a defenseman. I don't know why I suddenly can't speak. But who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Shoot, Phil. What do you got?
Nils Ekman for that one.
No.
Rangers versus San Jose?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
Just like Marky busted.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Nils Ekman for Rangers San Jose. Did I put it in the right spot?
Yeah, you put it in the right spot.
And that's who that was.
Oh,
right?
because you know what? He was with them in preseason. That's right. Shit.
Well, he
Wow.
pulled a Mark busted last week, so
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't bust on the first one.
that's true.
That's a first ever bust right away. All right. Anthony, go to you. Which box do you want to start with?
I'll do Sharks 30 assist season. I'm just gonna guess Jeff Norton. I don't know for sure if he reached 30 assists with San Jose, but I'm gonna.
He made it 0.4.
Set Ottawa in 30 assists in a season. I'm gonna go Brian Smolinski.
0.7.
Defenseman with 30 assists. Do Doug, the one in the bottom right, do Doug Crossman.
The constant Crossman. 0.1.
Canadians defenseman. I'll go Gerald Diddick.
The Daily Diddick.
Rangers defenseman. I'll go Mike Motto.
0.1.
All right. Canadian Senators. I'll do Chris Campoli.
0.4.
Canadian Sharks. I'll go Brandon Davidson.
Jesus. 0.3.
Rangers Senators. Matt Gilroy.
0.4.
Rangers Sharks. No, did Patrick Rissmiller play for the Rangers? Oh, do Dominic Moore.
All right, and Dominic
Miller
Moore.
did in fact play for the Rangers.
He did. All right.
Yeah.
Anthony with a unique score of 0. Wow, great job. And now I have to try to match that because I can't get less than 0. So, oh, you got to be kidding me. Okay. Because I just totally went blank. Now, quick question: am I allowed to say Matt Gilroy for Rangers defenseman? Because I'm not allowed to say Matt Gilroy at all. Okay, well, we'll go Rumenendor. Canadians defenseman. I don't want to choose Mike Komisarek. I'm trying to actually think of guys that aren't necessarily with these teams, but great. I love it when you start blanking when you're just under pressure. Well, let's go with my favorite, Stefan Quintal. All right, so yep, there's a 0.2. Okay, 30 assists in a season. All right, let's go to this one. This should be Wayne Presley. He's 0.1. Sharks and Canadians. I gotta hold on to him just in case if I bust. Rangers and Senators. Let's go Stanislav Netskash. 0.3. Sharks with 30 assists in a season. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that one. No, because I'm right now. I got all the obvious guys that are popping through my head.
Oh yeah, you have to get a 0 to have a chance. So
yeah, Larionov. I'll go Igor Larionov. There's point one. I already lost. Okay, so Senators 30 assists in a season. Not Spiza. Let's go with somebody else. Did Sillinger do it with nope? I don't think it was him. How the hell with it? We'll just do Radic Bonk. 2. Okay, now I need to come up with a defenseman on that. Canadian and a Shark. This is actually what I wanted to save it for. Because Canadian and a I do believe. Nope. Actually, I was going to put Randy Cunningworth right there. That's not right. Canadian and a Shark. Benoit Brunet. Is that? Nope. All right. I lost.
I don't think he played for the Sharks.
Yeah. Who was it? There was a Canadian that Canadian that played for the Sharks that was really good. But all right. Oh, again, guys, sorry, didn't bring my A game for that one. Let's go over here. Let's go to the pyramid. Pyramid, you have a 15 assist season. It could be with any team. A 10 goal season. A Pittsburgh Penguin, a Philadelphia Flyer, a career 500 games played, and the top of the pyramid, he had to finish with the play for the Colorado Avalanche at some point.
I don't know who they're.
You know what? I thought this went towards Dave Hannon, but I don't think Dave Hannon played for the Flyers.
I don't. Yeah.
He played
no, he did not.
Pittsburgh and Colorado. He was on Colorado's '96 team, but I don't think he was a Flyer. I know he was a Sabre, a Penguin, and an Avalanche.
Well,
Shit.
I was leaning towards Keith Jones, but he never played.
The first one is always the easiest. Start off with Gerald Diddick because we love our daily Diddick here.
Okay.
Gerald Diddick, there we go. A 10 goal season, a 15 assist season. How about a friend of the channel, Jim Dowd?
Sure.
All right. So now 10 goals and 15 assists. And he played for the Pittsburgh Penguins. How about Jan Hrdina?
I could say Rico Fata too.
Rico Fata got the 10, 15?
I'm pretty sure he did. Hold on. I want to check that, but I think he did. Yeah, with Pittsburgh in 04. Yep.
How about that?
Yeah.
Rico Fata. I didn't think he made it.
Now we're talking about a player that has done both and that played for both teams. I think Dave Tippett fits this.
Okay.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, Dave Tippett fits this.
Obviously, we're still unique to score 0. Obviously, because we would have Recchi and Tocchet that's in there. John LeClair's in there. Because John LeClair did play for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
For the next one.
Mark Streit.
Mark Streit had the Penguins?
Yep.
Okay.
Because Kjell Samuelsson would have fit for both teams, and he would have gotten the assists, but he never got the goals. That's what I was thinking of too. But Mark Streit is a good one. And now here's the issue: who is this player that they're pointing to?
An Avalanche. Avalanche / Nordiques, Flyers, Penguins.
Darius Kasparaitis never played for the Flyers.
Who?
No. Darius Kasparaitis, and I don't think Kasparaitis had 10 goals in a season.
No, I don't think he did either.
Because I know that his goal numbers were extremely low.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of spitballing at the moment, so Let's see.
Yeah, he had only 27 career goals. He had never had more than 4 in a season in his rookie year, and in '98.
I know we already used him, but wouldn't have Jim Dowd have fit all these categories?
He played for the Avalanche?
Pretty sure he played for Colorado.
Yeah, he did. He played for. He was on their 06 playoff roster. I know that.
I know he played for Philly.
Jimmy Dowd actually would fit all of this.
He played for Philly.
Shit. Yeah.
Boy, Jim Dowd never played for the Penguins.
Ah, that's what it is. Yeah, he never played for the Penguins.
I was all ready to reset this, Anthony.
Damn. Good call.
Yeah, I was all ready to reset it, and then I'm going, wait a minute, he never played for the Penguins.
Yeah, Tommy, it's 10 assists, 15 goals for any team, but now they have to have played for the Penguins, Flyers, and Avalanche, and have played 500 games at the NHL level. So this is the problem. I don't know who this is pointing to. I have no idea.
Scott Young?
Rick Tocchet never played for Colorado.
Scott Young never played for the Flyers. I thought about that. He never played for the Flyers. He went from Hartford to Pittsburgh, where he won in '91, I believe. Then he went to the Nordiques / Colorado. He was there until like 98, I think. And then he went to Anaheim, and then he went to St. Louis, and then to Dallas. But he never played with the Flyers.
Who is that, by the way?
Scott Young.
Okay.
He never played with the Flyers.
Never played with the Flyers. Okay. And
Yeah, I thought
it's
about
obviously
that.
not Mark Recchi up top because he never played for the Avalanche.
No. I have no idea who this is.
They done good.
Whoever put this together, bravo, buddy.
Penguins,
Bravo.
Penguins, Flyers, Avalanche.
Did Max Talbot ever play for Colorado?
Ooh, that's a good question. I know he played for both pits. Yes, he did. He did.
Okay, there you go.
He fits it.
All right.
Good call, Mark.
Yeah, I was going through it in my head, and he finished with the unique score of. All right, Derek Brassard was the #1 selection.
All right, so we got the best possible score then.
We got the best possible score. We got 28.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, good call. All right, you want to?
I gotta go pick up my dog from the groomer. I'll be back like in 10 minutes.
I can give you.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Anthony. And hold on. We're right here. Where'd you go, Phil?
We'll remove Anthony just for a second.
Yeah, we're going to take some of your questions right now while Anthony's out. We'll do obscurities when he gets back.
I forgot Brassard was an Avalanche. I remember him with Pittsburgh and Philly, but I forgot him with Colorado.
Yeah, Philly under AV, Pittsburgh. He went to, I think, twice.
Yeah, I think he might have been with them twice because I remember he was a part of like a 3-team retention trade that like it took back in 2018 that took like a few days to actually hammer out because there was some misfires on the retention and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, let's get down to the questions.
So do you want me to quiz you first? Do you want it or
see you guys see I got it. I can do it. You want to wait for Anthony? Sorry. You want to wait for Anthony to come back before we do some obscurities?
Well, I only got like 20 minutes I can give you, so.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll do ours. We'll get him out of the way.
Okay.
Get down to the bar talk at the gaming.
All right. So, Mark, I'll give you first.
Okay.
All right. I'll do the timer too. All right. Are you ready, Mark?
I'm ready.
All right. So this player has played 738 games over 13 years for 5 teams. Mark, this is Joe Sacco.
Joe Sacco played for the New York Islanders, the
Yes.
Anaheim Ducks,
Yes.
or Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, whichever you want to call them.
Fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Boston Bruins?
No.
Okay. Philadelphia Flyers?
3.
Quebec Nordiques?
No.
Okay. LA Kings?
Time. No, and it was after the time.
Yeah.
I would have given you that because it was right at almost the same time, but you missed Washington and Toronto.
Washington and Toronto. All right.
Yeah, so you got 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Isildur was correct here on Toronto.
All right.
All right. So your next player, I think I gave you the easiest one there. All right. So this player has played for 569 games over 6 teams over 14 years. Mark, this is Rob Zettler.
Rob Zettler played for the Ottawa Senators.
Nope.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Nope.
Wow. I know this guy's. How am I fucking? Am I confusing him with Rob Zamner? Carolina Hurricanes / Hartford Whalers.
Nope.
Oh my goodness, St. Louis Blues.
No.
Detroit Red Wings.
Nope. And that's time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you went 0 for 6 on this one. It was San Jose, Toronto, Washington, Minnesota, Philadelphia, and Nashville.
All right, I should have gotten Minnesota because he was a North Star, not a Wild, right?
Yeah, he was a North Star.
Yeah, that's where I should. Because it was a name out of Hockey Simulator 2. So yikes, that offer is going to hurt.
Yeah. All right, and I'll give you your third one. This player played 483 games over 9 years with 6 teams. Mark, this is Brian Lawton.
Minnesota North Stars.
Yes.
Minnesota Wild?
No.
Okay. Shoot. I'm completely blanking on him again. North Stars drafted the first overall. Oh my God. Chicago Blackhawks?
No.
Winnipeg Jets?
Time and no.
Oh my goodness.
So you missed San Jose, Hartford.
San Jose, that's the one I should have gotten.
The Rangers, Quebec, and Boston.
What a choke job. I started out strong with Sacco and just 4 out of this. San Jose is the one I should have gotten right away. You know, you get to the point where you get where he's in, and then you start choking, and your brain freezes. All right.
So you got 4 points total. One on that one, 3 on the first one. So Mark is 4.
All right, Phil, you could beat me in the first turn. So here we go.
All right.
I got a guy who's played for 4 NHL teams, and he played 627 games. His name is Boyd Devereaux.
Detroit.
1.
Edmonton.
2.
Montreal.
Nope.
Phoenix.
3.
You said 5 teams?
4 teams.
Nashville?
Nope.
Toronto.
Ding, ding, ding. You got all 4.
All right.
So that's a way to start it out, Phil. That's a good way to come out swinging. I am already dead in the water. I was dead in the water to begin with, but that's a different story. Let's reset this. Put it in the trash. Okay, I didn't think you'd get Boyd Devereaux, so let's put me out of my misery. This guy played 337 games in the NHL for 6 teams. His name is Dan LaCouture.
Pittsburgh, Rangers.
1, 2.
Islanders.
No.
Boston.
3.
Tampa.
No.
Washington.
No.
Anaheim.
Nope.
St. Louis.
No.
Philly.
Nope.
Detroit.
And time. And no, Detroit wouldn't have been in there anyway.
No.
The teams you missed: Edmonton, New Jersey, and Carolina.
I remember Edmonton. I don't remember the other 2.
Yeah, so there's 7. And I got one more guy for you right here. He played 757 games in the NHL for 5 teams. And his name is Jason York.
Ottawa, Anaheim, Detroit.
3.
You said 5 teams?
5 teams.
Pittsburgh.
Nope.
Toronto.
No.
Tampa.
No.
Washington.
Nope. And time.
Boston.
What was that last one?
Boston.
Boston would have counted if they were able to get it out in time. But Nashville was the other team. Those are the 2 you missed.
All right.
So you got 10. Schooled me on that one.
I don't know where Anthony is.
I know, and I'm tempted to give you Anthony's just to be like, can you get these? But
I have 3 for Anthony that were, I think that one, I think he'll get a decent amount on, and the other 2, I think he's going to have trouble with.
Could happen.
I'm going to text him and see if he's coming back within the next few minutes, because if not, I'll.
You just give me the second 3, and then because we're running out of time. We started a little bit late today, guys. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us today. Let's see if you got any questions for us while we're waiting.
Yeah, there was some stuff that were Darcy Rhoda, former Vancouver Canuck Darcy Rhoda. You're going back to like the Thomas Gradine Darcy Rhoda days. Stan Smeal, even before them. Oh.
By the way, in Rangers history, even if they tried to do this intentionally, they'd still screw it up.
Yeah, he's pulling in his driveway in like 2 minutes. He said, "All right." So Anthony will be back in a couple of minutes, everyone. So I'll take I'll give him his questions.
Ricky, I was gonna make that joke before. They're jealous of his girlfriend, but then again, I'm not really seeing that.
We'll go with NYR for life here. Oh no, this has got to be oh no, these are old. Okay, these are old.
Yeah, but
those are old. Those were from the last stream. Sorry.
Yeah, but this one is. I don't know how you got up for the last stream.
I don't know how they popped up. I thought I got rid of those.
Or maybe he asked it again.
No, it definitely wasn't. It was from last stream. I know it for sure.
All right, but would you compare the Schneider situation to Shea? I don't know about that. Shea was really 2 coaches, and Shea performed well, I thought, under AV. But under Quinn, he was just atrocious. And that's been a huge bugaboo, if you will, with the Rangers. Again, they got prospects that they start doing well and then they regress, then you send them away, and then they end up succeeding again. I mean, in a way, I'm just saying in a way. I mean, I'm not saying he's a guy that regressed so much, but Kim Janssen was kind of like that back in the day. That they put in the Eric. He was in the Eric Lindros trade, right?
Who? Kim Janssen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. All right. So the Eric Lindros trade, funny enough, was the same deal that they were going to send to Pittsburgh for Yager before the Glenn Sather snafu on that, where he fell asleep at the wheel. Yeah, it was Kim Janssen, Jan Hlavich, Pavel Brendel, and a third-round pick for Lindros, and that would have been the same package that would have went to Pittsburgh for Yager. I've heard Sather fell asleep at the wheel. I've heard there were tensions between Patrick and the Rangers organization because Patrick was not a fan of the Rangers or dealing with them after his unceremonious ousting years and years prior. But they had done deals in Pittsburgh, with the Rangers. I mean, they had just done only a couple of years before that with Patrick at the helm was the Kovalov and Nedved deal in '99.
Yeah, and then after that, there was the Kovalov back to the Rangers deal, right?
Yeah, and Patrick was the general manager still then at that time for the Penguins. Yeah.
I mean, it's just
yeah. I think there was a little bit of a snafu on the. If I had to guess, there was a snafu on the Yager deal, probably on Sather's end. I mean, I've heard stories. I won't get into specific details, but yeah.
Anthony said,
"All right." Anthony just got home. He said he'll be on in like a minute.
Anthony doesn't want to miss this. This is his favorite part of the week.
No, I know he loves this. So, but I have 3 lined up for him, and then I'll take his 3, and then you guys can do your thing because I have to start to get going.
I was thoroughly boned as soon as I could not get Brian. Seriously, Brian Lawton. San Jose is the one I should have gotten. That's the one I heard. I'm on myself on. I completely forgot in the moment about the Rangers, and this is also where you talk about like you're who wants to be a millionaire. It's not so much stupidity; it's more like you just blank.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I remember Locouture in Edmonton. But I totally blanked on that. I mean, there are just guys that sometimes you just blank on the teams. I mean, I forgot the Devils in Carolina. I don't. Now that I think about it, yeah, I think that Carolina was his last stop, if I'm correct.
You're correct. It was.
Okay. But I mean, even then, like I totally had forgotten that until about like 5 seconds ago.
I love that Chris G was talking about it earlier on the stream. We were talking about Chris Drury with 7.7 seconds remaining in Game 5 versus the Rangers in 2007. And I just can't help but shake my head and just say how much I hate 7.7 seconds between that and Zelapuk.
Yeah, between that
exact time.
7, yeah. 13 years later, the same damn thing. And the number that's there is 13 years later. 13. Unlucky 13. Ugh. Stupid. So many levels.
Yep.
All right. Well, Anthony, I mean, I hope you're coming on like right now because I'm going to have to.
Now I see the destiny is pushing me away. But
I'll be right back.
You got it. You got it. So here we are, all alone right now, boys. How we doing? And girls, boys and girls. And just off a week. I still don't understand what the hell JT Miller was doing that second goal on Monday night. And a matter of fact, that's sort of the same thing he did on the second goal versus Anaheim last Monday night. That he threw the puck in the middle. Yeah, like this is the guy you made captain. Good job. Good job. Anthony said he's going to be hopping on in a second. But again, this is where you are with the Rangers. And when you make bad decisions and then you have to compound bad decisions with bad decisions, it's not a way to run an organization. And it was bad decisions to start with. That's why you have things like people like me that are saying, what were you doing? This is just stupid. But hey, whatever. But oh, good, we got Anthony back in. We had him. But I mean, it's just stuff that makes me shake my head all the time whenever I think about it. This team is a long ways away from competing again. That's what I keep on going back to. Ranger fans, if you think I'm wrong, maybe like the people try to say like the Boston Bruins. No. As Tapia is saying right here, Miller all of a sudden was in a good mood to talk to the media after the win. Yeah. I want to don't trust him to order a pizza. But I like how many people have seen that so far. And actually, I got people walk out to me at the bar and going, hey, so you wouldn't trust him to order a pizza? I'm like, no. But again, it's something I continuously will shake my head on. Just going, I didn't see it the first time. I still don't see it now. I heard about that. I've already heard enough stories that I don't want to share on this about JT Miller. That I think he lacked the maturity and the ability to be a captain, but that's a different story. Oh, good. We got Anthony back. Here we are, Ant. All right. Anthony, Filk, and I, so far, by the way, these are the scores.
Yeah.
And we do have Filk back. So why don't you guys do yours for Filk to you and Anthony back, and then I could give you Anthony's and Filk has to run. So
Anthony, I got your three ready. You ready?
Yep.
Mark, you have the timer?
Got the timer.
All right. First one I think is going to be the easiest one for you.
Okay.
This guy played 286 games over 11 years with 7 different teams. Anthony, this is Rick Tabaracci.
Flames?
Yes.
Capitals?
Yes.
Blues?
No.
Bruins?
No.
Minnesota North Stars?
No.
Dallas Stars?
No.
Winnipeg Jets?
Yes.
Toronto Maple Leafs?
No.
Time.
3.
So, Anthony, you missed Tampa Bay, Colorado, Pittsburgh, and Atlanta.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is the one that came to mind for me.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is the only other one that he played more than 5 games with. The other 3 teams he played a total of 4 games with. Colorado, 2, Pittsburgh, 1, and Atlanta, 1.
Damn it.
All right. So how many did Anthony get there? Just 2?
3.
You got 3 because you got Winnipeg. That's right.
You got the 3 that he played the most games with too. So
good news, Anthony. You basically have to just take a knee. You already beat me today.
You another poor show?
All right.
Yeah, I had another 0, and it's because I had a guy that I mixed his teams up with another guy. So
yeah. I didn't have the greatest showing either. All right. So Anthony, this next one has played 416 games over 9 years with 7 teams. This is Mike Hudson.
Maple Leafs.
Yes.
Canadians.
No.
Dallas Stars.
No.
Winnipeg Jets.
No.
Sabres.
No.
Bruins.
No.
Devils.
No.
Canucks.
No.
Flyers.
No.
Penguins.
Yes.
Time.
2.
Mike
All right.
Hudson also played.
So-
He was a Keenan guy. He played with the
he
Rangers.
he was a black ace on the 94 Rangers.
Yeah, he was a Ranger, a Blackhawk, and a Blue, right?
Yep, St. Louis Blues, Toronto
Blackhawk?
Maple Leafs, Phoenix Coyotes, and Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, I honestly I never even heard of him. So it was just total guessing on that one.
Okay, this one
All right.
I think this is going to be your hardest one, Anthony. I think this is a
Okay.
pretty obscure name.
Oh,
All right,
great.
so 318 games in the NHL over 7 years with 5 teams. Anthony, this is Danton Cole.
The Devils.
Yes.
The Blues.
No.
Canadians.
No.
Thrashers.
No.
Maple Leafs.
No.
Canadians.
No, you said them already.
Canucks.
No.
Flyers.
No.
Time.
Penguins.
No, and I don't think he would have put that
Bruins?
in, but no. So Anthony got the Devils, but it was Tampa, Winnipeg, the Islanders, and Chicago.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but the Devils was the only one I knew.
What'd you get? What did
right.
Anthony get the round before that?
With Mike Hudson, he got
2, right?
He got no. Was that 1 or 2?
I think it was 1.
I think it was 1.
It was Toronto he got.
I think it was it Toronto or was it Pittsburgh that he got?
Oh, no, he got 2. He got 2
Yeah.
then. Because he got both of those. So then
He
another
got
2
both
right
of them.
here.
Okay.
And there's another 2 right here, right?
No, Dan Coley only got 1.
Okay, so 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are showing them today.
Yeah. All right. I'll take yours, Anthony.
All right. Let me just get I was just finishing up with the last player.
Yeah, I gotta get going, so it's gotta be quick.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Your first player played for 5 NHL teams. And fuck. Here we go. Sorry. All right. So he played in five NHL teams for 1,061 career games. Mark, do you have the timer?
Got it.
Bob Rouse.
Detroit, Toronto,
Yes.
Calgary,
No.
Boston,
No.
Islanders,
No.
Hartford,
No.
LA,
No.
Flyers,
No.
Tampa,
No.
Sharks,
Yes.
Atlanta,
No.
Boston.
Time.
No. All right, so you got Toronto, Detroit, and San Jose. You missed the Capitals and the Minnesota North Stars. So you got 3.
All right. Yeah, all right. That's 3 out of 5 then. Okay.
The hell is that?
All right. Ready for the next one.
What is that noise you might making there, Mark?
Mark is stretching.
Making noises that a man pushing 50 does.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right.
All right. So
Yeah,
your
I
next
gotta get going. So we got to do this quick.
your next player, he played for 7 teams, and he played in how many career games is this? It's fucking God, Mike. Sorry, my computer's just going. All right, 580 games for 7 teams. His name is Todd Simpson.
Calgary.
Yep.
Chicago.
Yep.
Edmonton.
No.
Pittsburgh.
No.
Toronto.
No.
Tampa Bay.
No.
San Jose.
No.
Anaheim.
Yes.
Boston.
No.
Florida.
Yes.
Carolina.
Time.
No. So you got
New Jersey?
You got 4. You got what'd you say, Mark?
New Jersey?
No, he missed Ottawa, Phoenix, and Montreal.
Damn. Okay. All right. So I got 4 out of the 7. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. And
Ready for the last one.
Your last player is played for 5 NHL teams. This one I think is going to be your easiest one. And he played in 708 games for 5 teams. His name is Jeff Finley.
St. Louis Rangers.
Yes. Yep.
Flyers.
Yes.
Islanders.
Yes.
Boston.
No.
Pittsburgh.
No.
San Jose.
No.
Anaheim.
No.
Tampa.
No.
Washington.
No.
Nashville.
No.
Calgary.
No.
Vancouver.
No.
And time.
Montreal.
No. So the one team you missed was the Winnipeg/Coyotes franchise.
Damn it. All right, cool.
What does that give him on that?
So 4 on that one, 4 on the previous one, and then he got 3 out of the 5 on Bob Rouse. So 4, 4, 8, 11.
All right.
All right. Boys, I gotta go. I will see you guys later.
All right,
Take it
see you
easy,
later.
Later.
All right, Anthony. I think I'm playing for third today yet again, but I'll take yours first.
You'll take mine first. All right.
I can't wait to see how I'm gonna get destroyed on this. I can't wait to see how I'm gonna get destroyed on this. Anthony, by the way, I do have to tell you, one of my guys will get you back in this race.
One of them?
One of them, he's got a lot of teams on it.
How many? Like 12?
One of my guys, I believe, is 7.
7.
Like I got a potential 17 for you.
All right. I'm just writing down your last player here.
Okay.
The truth is, some of those were for you, but because I didn't have, so Phil was in such a rush, I had to give him some of yours to get it in. When is he coming back from Florida?
That's a good question. Who knows? He might want to relocate. Make it a good pitch for him.
Yeah. All right. You want me to go first, or you're gonna go first?
Oh, yeah, I'll go first.
You go first. I have it up. Let me just get
Okay.
my phone up for the timer here.
What I need to do is I need to make a timer for the top right. So that way that's there.
All right, Mark. So your first player, he played in 289 games, and he played for 6 teams. His name is Chris McAlpine.
Buffalo.
No.
I know this guy. Boston Bruins.
No.
Colorado Avalanche.
No.
Jeez. Chris McAlpine. LA.
Yes.
Okay, so we got the Kings. Florida.
No.
Okay. Tampa Bay.
Yes. Time. All right.
Okay.
So you got 2 there at the list. So You got LA and Tampa. You missed Chicago, Atlanta, St. Louis, and New Jersey.
You know, Atlanta was actually going to be the next guess, but I was too slow on it. So, but New Jersey is really the one I think I should have remembered.
That's the one I remember him from, but oddly enough, that was the first team he ever played for. That's
probably was it. All
right.
right.
You got 2 on that one.
Cool. I've now tied you for second.
All right. Your next player played in 783 games, and he played for 6 teams. His name is Mike Eastwood.
Mike Eastwood played for the Winnipeg Jets,
Yes.
the New York Rangers, the St. Louis
Yes.
Blues,
Yes.
the Fetus Coyotes,
Yes.
the Vancouver Canucks,
No.
Detroit Red Wings,
No.
the Washington Capitals.
No. Time.
Who I meant?
The 2 that you missed were the Blackhawks and the Penguins.
All right.
So you got 4 on
I
that
have
one.
4 of them on there. All right. So the Blackhawks and the Penguins. I don't even remember him as a Penguin.
That
All
was
right,
his,
Anthony.
That was his last ever team.
Yeah. All right.
And your last player, Mark, let me get it here. All right. He played in 1,097 career games for 7 teams. His name is, let me get the timer. Sorry. His name is Tom Fitzgerald.
Tom Fitzgerald played for the New York Islanders, the Florida Panthers, where he made the Stanley Cup Finals, the LA Kings, the Chicago Blackhawks,
Yes.
St. Louis Blues,
No.
Ottawa Senators,
No.
The Atlanta Thrashers, the Nashville Predators.
Yes.
Time. God.
So you missed
played out west.
You missed the Avalanche, the Maple Leafs, and the Bruins.
Damn it. Yeah, damn it.
Yeah, you got the Blackhawks, Predators, Panthers, Islanders.
All right. So wait, that's so
4.
I got 5 or 4? 4?
4. You like I said, you missed the Bruins, Maple Leafs, and Avalanche.
Okay. So 4, that puts me at 14. That's not the best showing in the world. It's not the worst. I should have done better on Brian Lawton. I'm still kicking myself for Brian Lawton. At least San Jose and the Rangers I should have remembered. But anyway. All right, Anthony, here's your list. And I have the timer ready. Okay. Your first guy. Well, let me reverse my order on this. Because I want to give you that last guy so that way you have more of a chance to get back in the game and win. Hopefully you can. All right. Your first guy played 561 games in the NHL. His name is Doug Huda.
Bruins?
No.
Oh, Sabres?
Yes.
Islanders?
2.
Red Wings?
3.
Ducks?
4.
And missing 1.
Missing 2. Played for 16.
I said the Sabres, right? I said the Red Wings.
Said Sabres. Said the Red Wings.
The Ducks, the Islanders.
Got that. And time. You got 4 of the 6. The ones that you missed, Hartford and LA. Hartford and LA. So there we go. Let's get you into the double digits right there. You're at 10. And I forgot if he was mentioned during Puck Doku. I hope not, because I just gave it away. But let me get back to this. This guy played 886 games, 866 in the NHL. And his name is Randy Cunneyworth.
Senators.
1.
Penguins.
2.
Whalers.
3.
Sabres.
4.
Islanders.
Nope.
Rangers.
Nope.
Blackhawks.
No. Oh, yes. 5.
Jets.
Hold on. You said Jets at the end, right?
Yeah.
You won. That you got 6 for 6.
Nice.
All right. So 6 for 6. Because I heard you say I want a clarification on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony, right now I want to flash the scores for you. You already passed me and my dismal showing. It's 2 weeks in a row. That's terrible. That's terrible. But you need 5 to tie Filk, 6 to win. I get that timer set and ready to go. Because this is a big one. He played for 8 NHL franchises, 8 of them, 996 games. And his name is Dean McCammon.
Islanders.
1.
Senators.
2.
Blues.
3.
Devils.
4.
Avalanche.
5.
Blackhawks.
6.
Panthers.
No.
Capitals.
No.
Bruins.
No. And time. Okay. You had, I think, 6, right? You had Chicago, Ottawa, St. Louis, New Jersey, Colorado, and the Islanders.
Yep.
All right. So hold on. Wait, because this. Oh, you had 9 franchises. So you actually had a couple more. But that's 6, Anthony. Let's let me finish up with this. He played for Edmonton, Calgary, and Philadelphia. But that 6 pushes you over the top. And congratulations. Hold on, let me get that. Right there. There's 22. And we'll screenshot that and send that to Phil later.
How I missed Calgary, Philly, and what was the other team you said?
Calgary, Philly, and Edmonton for him. So
I should have got all 3 of those.
Balloons.
I should have got all 3 of those. That's disappointing.
Yeah, I guess D. McCammon might have been a little bit easy, but
Mark, do me a favor. I meant to mention this when Filk was on. I don't know if any of you guys noticed it. But go to Puckdoku for a minute. There's a new game. I don't know if you noticed it.
Puck Buddies.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so Puck Buddies. Okay, play now. And hold on. Let me bring that up for everybody. And so Puck Buddies. Puck Buddies. Puck Buddies. I don't know. It sounds like a toy commercial.
Oh God.
All right. So let's get that up right there and share that on. Okay, so in this case, you have Taylor Hall. You have to find a teammate of Taylor Hall's who also played with Connor McDavid, Sam Gagner, Ryan Whitney, and Corey Perry.
All right, let's try it out. All right,
now,
so
do they play with Taylor Hall? Taylor Hall played with all these guys.
Taylor Hall played with all those guys. Yes.
Okay.
Let's try first. Let's try Andrew Cogliano.
Yeah, because I don't think Andrew Cogliano ever played for. All right. You got 3 of the 4, it said.
Okay.
He never played with McDavid.
What about Ryan Nugent Hopkins?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think because Nuge is still on that team. Okay, glue guy, you got 27 points. All right. Sorry, it's upgrading us.
Yeah.
All right. What about Leon
Well,
Draisaitl?
Well,
Wait,
Draisaitl. Oh yeah,
there's
Perry.
one, but now are they asking a?
What is it? Read me where the search bar is. What does it say underneath the? Because I can't read that; it's too small. The words.
Find a player who's played a regular season postseason game with Hall and at least one of these other players: McDavid, Gagne,
Okay.
Whitney, or Perry.
So one. All right. So.
So Leon Draisaitl that would fit that, right?
Well, yeah, because he played with McDavid, Perry, but he never played with Hall though.
He never played Ryan Whitney.
You still get points, yeah. Okay.
Miroslav Shatan would not fit in there.
No.
What
about Oscar Klefbom? He definitely played with Gagne and Hall. Oh, and McDavid too. You're muted. Muted.
Yeah, hit my mic.
Graves is saying, what about Yakupov? Yakupov played with Hall and Gagne. Didn't play with McDavid.
He didn't? Because when he did. The only one he missed was Corey Perry.
Oh. Ryan Whitney.
Is there a devil that I'm missing on this? Because Ryan Whitney. And it doesn't count. It's only NHL, so it's not international.
No.
What about? I'm gonna try Devin Dubnyk just to see. Yeah, Devin Dubnyk gets 2 of them. I thought he might have had 3.
And Whitney. Yeah.
Nuge is a good one.
What about Zach Cassian?
Zach Cassian, I think, is going to have a good amount. I don't know if he's going to have Corey Perry. Zach Cassian's got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Dustin Penner.
I think he's played with at least.
He's got 3 of them.
Yeah. What about Benoit Pouliot?
Benoit balls. Benoit Pouliot. Only McDavid. Wow.
Yeah. Wait, did Marc-Andre Pouliot play with them too? Now that I saw I saw his name, let me just.
No, it can't be. He didn't play with McDavid.
Yeah, but
or Hall.
Yeah, he played with Gagne, Hall. Yes, he did.
Okay. Marc-Andre Pouliot.
Yeah. Just start typing in Pouliot again. You'll probably see Mark. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, it's Marc Antoine. Nope, incorrect.
He was he literally played for the Oilers in 2009.
Until 2012, it says his career went to.
Yeah, but he played with the Oilers in 2009, 2010. Isn't that when Hall
yeah, but he would get Hall, but he wouldn't get anybody else that's on the list.
Oh no, Hall was drafted in the 2010 summer. It was 09, 010. Damn. But Ryan Whitney, he played with Ryan Whitney, but yeah, he needs to play with at least Hall. All right, damn it. That's what it was. Bastard.
Yeah, at least Taylor Hall.
Eberle?
Jordan Eberle, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
That gets 3 of them. Justin Schultz, I think, gets 3 of them at least. Schultz. Justin Schultz. 3 of them. There you go.
What about the goalie, Anders Nilsson, former Islander? Did he play? He played with Hall, right?
Yes. And while you're at it, why don't we get the goalie that played with the Rangers, Cam Talbot?
Yeah.
Only one? Really?
Talbot never played with Gagne? I guess not.
Yeah.
Derek Brassard?
Derek is 2. Nope. It was 1R. Incorrect.
Brassard never played with Hall?
Nope. And we got a couple lives remaining.
Andrew
Jonathan
Ferentz?
Bernier, did he ever play with
What about Andrew Ferentz?
Andrew Ferentz is 2 of them.
Yeah.
Um,
Brandon Davidson, who I used in Puckdoku.
Brandon Davidson's got 1. Did Griffin Reinhart ever play a game for Edmonton? He played a few games, right?
Yes.
So after all, he's Griffin Reinhart. It's 1. Oh, here's an easy one. Evander Kane, incorrect. Wow.
Taylor Hall. I could.
Oh, that's right. See, I'm getting the format. They got to play with Taylor Hall. It's not just these guys.
Yeah, Hall's the constant. Had to play with Hall. But not just Hall. I think you need to play with Hall and then at least one of the others.
Yeah. I'm blanking on the Ryan Whitney factor because I keep going to Pittsburgh with him. And I don't think Bill Guerin played there. Play with them.
Did Ryan Isidore saying Ryan Smith, when Ryan Smith went back to Edmonton for his last run, was Taylor Hall still with the Oilers or was he already in New Jersey?
Well, let's make a guess at it.
Well, not.
I mean, we can't play this forever, Anthony.
Yes, it is. Yes, he did. He did. Yeah, because Ryan Smith was there and went back in 11-12.
All right, so
Ryan Smith, it works.
I did. I put it in.
Oh, you did it. Oh, sorry, I was on the other screen.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean Horkoff was gone, I think, when Hall was there, right?
Long gone. Yeah. So was Oleszewski, so let's get him out. I think there's guys on the Devils that are still.
Yeah, there probably are. I'm not thinking of. And actually, no, Mark Horkoff was with the Oilers from 2009, 2010 to 12-13 when Hall was there. But the thing is, he had to play with Hall and at least one other, which would be Gagne.
Yeah.
So do Horkoff. Do Sean Horkoff.
Do Sean Horkoff?
Yeah.
Okay. Sean Horkoff. He's got 3 of them. I thought that might be leading me over to Paul Bissonnette, but that's wrong.
No.
There's a Jersey guy. I know there's a Jersey guy.
Trying to get Devils at the time.
Like, could it be PK? Oh, wait, this could be a guy. No.
Who?
All right. I'm thinking Marcus Johansson. No.
Devils.
Devil man calling.
You could do Stuart Skinner. Wait, no, you can't. I don't think. I think then you cannot do Skinner. Skinner wasn't there.
Can't do Skinner. Devil's guy. I got it. I think he might be all four of them.
Who?
Hold on. Adam Henrique. And considering that he's on Edmonton right now.
Whitney didn't light up.
Whitney did not light up. I thought he had all four. He did not.
What about Derek Ryan?
Derek Ryan, okay. Derek Ryan. Nope. One life remaining.
Oh, Derek Ryan. He did not. Damn it.
One life remaining. No, everyone wouldn't work. Where did Ryan Whitney play?
Where did who?
Ryan Whitney. He played Anaheim, Pittsburgh, and Anaheim, Pittsburgh, Edmonton. Well, his last stop was Florida. So his last stop's Florida. That would be. Did Brad Boys ever play in Edmonton?
Hmm?
I'm just. Did Brad Boys ever play in Edmonton? And Sean Bergenheim.
What about Alex Goligoski?
Alex Goligoski.
I think he played with Hall in Arizona, and I think Goligoski played with Whitney in Pittsburgh.
I love it. Let's try it. I think actually, Alex, I do believe you're correct, and he does have Whitney.
Whitney.
Yeah. And you know what? You're right. Because there's guys that are missing. See, that's the one I forgot. I didn't know that. I forgot the Taylor Hall reference.
Yeah,
to.
I'm trying to think of like Arizona players too that he played with.
Well, Phil Kessel, right?
No, where else would Phil Kessel? I don't think Kessel was there anymore. Well, maybe he was.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Oh wait.
No, he was. It was
2019,
1920, Kessel and Hall. And Kessel definitely played. I would think Kessel played with Ryan Whitney in Pittsburgh.
Well, you got Michael Grabner in this too.
Jason Demers.
Jason Demers?
Yeah.
All right, let's put him in.
He played with Hall in Arizona, and then he played with McDavid, too, in Edmonton.
Jason Demers. There we go. We only got 4 more possible points. Oh, no. 4 points to the next tier.
What about Brad Richardson? Let me just check. No, he just played with Hall. Nashville, Calgary, Vancouver. Didn't play with any of those other guys. No, so no to Richardson. So also think Corey Perry too. Like Perry played for the Kings, the Ducks.
He's playing for the Kings right now. Cody Soucy? Gotta be Cody Soucy.
Well, Soucy didn't play with Hall. Huh?
He didn't play with Hall. I was about to hit send and then wait a minute.
What about Jordan? Speaking of depth defense, well, yeah, Soucy's depth defense. What about Jordan Osterley?
Jordan Osterley, okay.
I think he played with Hall in Arizona, and then
you got two of them.
There's got to be more Devils players, no?
There's more something. I just don't know what to make of it.
New Jersey. Did Will Butcher play for? No, Will Butcher never played for Edmonton.
All right, that's not the answer either.
Who are you thinking of?
No, I'm just looking around.
Patrick Maroon.
Patrick Maroon?
Yeah.
Pat Maroon's got two of them. We're up to the superstar level.
This section might be a good Klim Kostin. Kostin definitely played McDavid, but I don't think he ever played with Hall anywhere, though. Hall, no, yeah, he didn't. No, don't even bother. He didn't play. Kostin wasn't an Oiler when Hall was. Remember, Hall also had a cup of tea with the Bruins too. Probably missing players from the Bruins.
Was he there for like 3 years?
It was that long?
Or,
my memory that shot already?
I don't know. He was there for a little bit more time than that. How about Nick Schultz?
Nick Schultz. He was there.
I think his teammate is Sam Gagne's.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so Schultz. All right, yeah, I got two of them. So what we got left?
What about Ondrej Athanasiou? Did he play with Hall? Because Athanasiou played with the Oilers. But the question is, did he play with Hall in Chicago?
I think no. You know what? Maybe.
Yes, he did. I think Athanasiou was on Chicago last year too.
All right, we're going. We're doing this. We're doing that.
Yep.
We got it.
Yep.
Corey Perry was with Taylor Hall. That was on Chicago. Just ask. I'm gonna leave that joke on the side.
I wonder if there's anybody on Carolina right now that Hall's played with that's played with other people. Let's see. Roslovic. Yeah, Roslovic.
Yeah, Jack Roslovic.
Yep. Yep.
Just McDavid. Okay. I don't know who fits a couple of these guys. Shit. Okay, Leshemsky is on this team.
Yeah?
Yeah. Leshemsky's got two of them.
Jeff Skinner?
He's got two more. Andy Sutton.
Andy Sutton. Oh, wow.
You got three of them.
When did Sutton play with Hall? I guess in Edmonton.
Yeah, 2012.
Jan Denis?
Jan Denis?
Was he with the Oilers still when Hall was there?
I actually think he was. What's Denis going down as?
Dannis. One N. It's Jan Yan and then Donnie Da.
Yeah, I did that. YAN came up nobody.
Try another N.
Hold on, let's see if it's here. Jan Denis, that's it. Jan Denis got two.
Look at that. Michael Hutchinson?
No. Where would he be a teammate?
Of Hall in Edmonton, but I guess that was long after Hall, I guess, then.
How about Josh Green?
Josh Green.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
I thought Josh Green was long gone before Hall came in the league.
No, he was there, still in Edmonton. Let's see.
We did Derek Brassard, right?
We did Derek Brassard. What about? No, I don't think. Maybe Nikolai Hobby-Bulin.
I don't think Hobby-Bulin was in Edmonton when Hall was there.
Yeah.
Brizgalov?
Brizgalov. We'll try Ilya Brizgalov. The universe is very big. Yes, got it too. One life remaining still. And I kind of got to wrap this up, Anthony.
How do you win though? Like, what's the point of when?
I think it's just you keep going, you get better results as it goes on. We get into the Hall of Fame if we could get just 13 more points.
Okay. I see how it is.
This is sort of like Word Finder and stuff like that.
Okay.
Trying to think of an Edmonton guy. I thought Aaron Interference.
I said Aaron.
No, I know. After you said that.
Jesse Puljujärvi?
Jesse. Oh, well, I think that's an obvious one. Oh, nope. Not Jesse Puljujärvi. Well, we're the best bracket. Most people lost it around middle six.
So you get before we wrap up, you have any predictions how this Ranger Islander game's gonna go?
Horribly, but I think that's where it's going to be worse. I think the Rangers end up pulling out a win on one of these.
I mean, isn't it crazy they played each other twice so far, and the Rangers haven't scored a goal yet against the Islanders?
I don't think they've played it back-to-back games. Here's what I'll say. I'll make this prediction. The Rangers score one goal on the Islanders.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're getting Riddick tonight, and then Sorokin's going to be tomorrow at MSG.
It doesn't matter who they get. It doesn't matter. They're so terrible.
I'm going to get you my like we always do, the players who are rumored to be available, the deadline.
Yeah.
Predictions. And then I do have a prediction for you. I think, and I'll be bold, I think Artemi Panarin's traded before the Olympic break.
I think I have to agree with you because I think we were talking about it at the beginning of the show. There's too many benefits to having him moved at the Olympic break. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's my gut. That's my gut. And I also feel he's gonna make it difficult on them. I think he's gonna pull a Giroux. I think he's only gonna give him 2 teams.
That's still 2 teams that he should be traded to, and that's it. All right. We actually got disconnected from everything right now.
Oh wow.
According to what this is saying. So I don't know if it's a problem with the StreamYard servers. So we're gonna cut it off right here because literally everything is going red. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. We will see you next week.
Later.